Naruto has been waiting for this day for a long time now. Today will be the day that Konoha pays for what they have done. They killed Naruto clan. They had dared to destroy the Wolf clan. Now it's the Chunin exams and in the third round. This test was 1 versus 1 matches and the win goes to the finales. Naruto is going to versus Kiba right now but not before he tells he Hokage. He going tell everyone here the truth about Kyuubi and the reason why she attack. No more of the third Hokage lies will keep coming from his mouth. Naruto looks at Kiba. He was one of the people in his genin class. He was always loud and a pain in the ass. But the biggest pain was Sasuke, the person he has to be on the same team as. Naruto doesn't hate Kiba but he doesn't like him. Now he has a chance to make him pay for all the insults that Kiba made to him back in the genin class. Every time he made a mistake thanks to his powers being sealed without him knowing. Kiba would always insult just like everyone else in the class. No more insulting because now his powers are released and it's not to show everyone his true power. Looks like we have an easy win, Kiba said to his dog partner. Naruto didn't care what Kiba said to him because he knows Kiba's not going to win. Know that because right now he only forced on the old man. That backstabbed him and told him lies. Hokage-sama, maybe now, you should tell everyone the real reason Kyuubi attacked, Naruto said as he smirks to the Hokage. Everyone just looked at him and wonder what he was talking about. Everyone knows that Kyuubi attacked for no reason and some of them believe it was because it was a blood-crazy demon. How wrong they are because Kyuubi had a really good reason to want this village died. It is the same reason that Naruto wants this village dead. Naruto, what do you mean? No one knows why Kyuubi attacked the village, the Hokage told him as he lied to the boy again. The Hokage always hated to lie to him and for what he had done to the boy, but I couldn't be helped. But Naruto was so used to the third Hokage lying to him. Right now he knows that the old man is trying to lie to him once again. This time it's not going to work. The truth will come out and they will pay for it dearly. Don't lie. You may have fooled me before. You may have sealed my powers and bloodline away. Kyuubi attack because you had backstabbed and destroy the Wolf clan. Then you had the guts give me the last name Uzumaki. You took my last name away, Naruto yelled at the Hokage with rage and anger in his voice. Naruto was so pissed at this minute that some of the genin were scared of him. Gaara was wondering what was going on and if this boy was like him. Naruto, how do you still remember that? The third Hokage yelled to Naruto as he's worried about what's going to happen. If people found out the true reason, then maybe they would hate the village. The third Hokage never wanted to hurt Naruto or take away his last name from him. But he had to do what was good for the village. The guilt he feels inside of his heart, he knows that he will never lose the guilt for as long as he lives. Naruto, on the other hand, will never forgive them for what they had done. He will forever hate this village and never think about forgiving them. Remember, you had thought your seals would make me forget. You killed my clan, then Kyuubi the Nine-Tail Vixen, who was the clan guardian, attack your village. When Naruto yelled back again for the second time, Naruto had more rage and anger in his voice. What Naruto did next shocked everything. 2 black wings come out of Naruto back as his face changed as well. His eyes turned into wolf eyes as his teeth become more wolf-like with sharp fangs. Tsume and the other Inuzuka women who are watching were shocked. His feral was more than their own. Half of the people that are listening are trying to figure out if Naruto is telling the truth. What if they really caused the Nine-Tailed Demon to attack their village? Was it their fault that so many of their families and friends are died now? Some of them looked down because few of them had helped in the attack or their family was in the attack. Now all the hate towards Naruto was gone, because it's not Naruto's fault that it happened. It was their and only theirs. You attacked my clan. Why did you? My clan was loyal to Konoha. It has been loyal to your village since the first Hokage. It was one of the first clans to help you build this village. This is how you repay them. By killing them. Naruto yelled with all he had as his rage was about to hit his max. Naruto couldn't stay it anymore. How could this village become something like that? How could this village become so heartless and cold? This good-for-nothing village. Right now Naruto wishes the village to burn in hell, and he wants to be sitting there watching as it burns to ash. We had found info that said the ukami, it means wolf, just like Inu means dog, was going to attack. Naruto couldn't believe his ears as he hears the Hokage tell him that his clan was going to attack the village. His clan was loyal and would never attack an ally and never backstab a friend. How far will the Hokage go to make people believe that they were the ones that are innocent and that his clan was the ones that are the evil ones? Naruto was now pissed off to the point where no one in this room together couldn't hold as much rage in them than him. We would never attack our allies. My clan lives by their loyal and pride over their lives. Even if you had info about some lie, you had no right to kill and raped my whole clan. Everyone who was in the room could hear how pissed Naruto was, which everyone in the whole room was now shocked. The Hokage couldn't believe what he had just heard. They told the shinobi to only kill the clan, never to rape them. How come someone have done that to that clan? Wasn't killing them bad as it is, but to rape them? He looks at Naruto, which he's starting to wonder if doing this was the right thing for the village. The old man was also wondering if telling everyone the truth would have be better for everyone. Right now no one in this room could say that what he had done was for the good of the village. Other people here aren't from this village and they couldn't believe what was going on. Asuma couldn't believe his father never took him the truth about what happened. His own father kept something like that from his own sons. Asuma knows that in shinobi life there is going to be things people can't talk about, but this was something that should have never had been hidden. He has watched Naruto's life and he has seen the hell that boy was put through. Now he finds out all that pain was for a lie to be hidden. He couldn't stop thinking that his father was part of something like this. Naruto, we never rap. He was cut off by Naruto as he could see the anger inside of his eyes. These eyes hold more anger and rage in them than the Kyuubi herself. If you looked at Naruto right now, you could swear he wasn't human because of the hate and anger in his eyes. But then again, maybe Naruto isn't a human at all right now. Yes, you did. When Kyuubi got to the clan area and seen them dead and the women smelled like sex and laying on the ground naked. As Naruto yells at the Hokage again, he starts to walk closer to the Hokage but was stopped by his sensei Kakashi. Naruto couldn't call Kakashi his sensei because he had known all of this and never said a word. Also, Kakashi never trained Naruto because he hated Naruto, and for what? His sensei was the reason this village had been attacked by Kyuubi. Naruto looked at his so-called sensei and Kakashi was taken aback by the anger that was going at him. Kakashi slowly backed up from Naruto. It was like looking at Kyuubi again, but this time a stronger and more evilly vision of Kyuubi. Kakashi, for his part, had known that Kyuubi attacked because of them. But he still doesn't want to face the world knowing that his sensei may have been the one that was evil and wrong. To him, his sensei was like a second father to him. So he never wants to think of him as someone that did something like this to a whole clan. But then again, he let Naruto go through so much pain. He could have helped, but he didn't. He just watched and wished that his sensei was still alive to help him. Naruto, we Hokage again, was cut off by the enraged Naruto, who right now wanted blood. He wanted the blood of the person that told the fourth Hokage these lies. He wants that person died and he wasn't going to stop. Only way he was going to stop was if that person was killed. Naruto wasn't a bloodlust person, no, he was far from that. But this was hurting him so much. Hearing the Hokage say all this was too much for him. He slowly is losing control of his anger and becoming something that Kyuubi is worried about. Kyuubi cares deeply for Naruto. Not as a lover kind, but as a mother or grandmother like. She has always been there since the attack and she's not going to let anyone hurt him again. Who told you that lie? Who took you that my clan was going to attack? Tell me now, old man. Naruto asked/yelled in a demonic tone of voice as he starts giving off a demonic aura. Gaara, for first time since he became a mindless killer, was scared of the kind of demonic aura he was giving off. Gaara being scared is not something you see every day. You only see that once in a lifetime. But everyone around he was starting to become scared as well. The older shinobi which seen Kyuubi in the past are starting to become scared of Naruto. No one could blame him for doing this. They have all seen his life and now everyone knows the reason everyone hates him was a lie. Danzo, the leader of Root Umbu, when Naruto heard that, he just looked down at the Hokage in shame for him. How could they believe someone that tried to kill him? How could they believe a rat like Danzo over his clan? Anko couldn't believe someone like the fourth Hokage would believe Danzo over a whole clan of loyal shinobi. Right now she was worrying if the fourth Hokage was really a great person now. He was said to be the hero of Konoha for stopping Kyuubi. But he was one of the main reasons that she attacked the village. So was he really the so-called hero of the village? Or was he just like Snakeface and is a villain? You believe Danzo, a man that tried sending assassins at you and to kill you? You believe a man like that over a clan that was loyal to you since the birth of Konoha? Naruto asked as he still was looking down because he couldn't look the Hokage in the eyes anymore. The third Hokage was wondering if Danzo had tired killing him. He wouldn't put it past the old hawk to try killing him. As Naruto asked the Hokage wolves start walking in the Chunin exam room, Sum looked and was shocked to see so many wolves. It was around 40. Most of the wolves were normal size. Some of them were smaller, which people can tell by looking are pups of the wolves. There was about 3 of them that are bigger than the other wolves. All of them had the same color fur. It was a beautiful shade of silver. Their eyes were a deep blue color, which by looking at them, you could only call them beautiful wolves because of their fur and eyes. Naruto, what do you mean he tried killing me? The Hokage was wondering what Naruto means as he asked him. He was also wondering what if Naruto was right. What if Danzo did lie to them and gave them lies just so they would kill the clan? If Naruto was right, the Hokage couldn't live with himself anymore. He wonders if Minato is up there with Kami regretting what he has done. Maybe when he goes up there, then he could ask him how he feels about what they have done. The fourth Hokage attacked my clan because of Danzo. If you don't believe me when I said he sent people to kill you in the past, then get Ino's dad to look inside my mind. Everyone heard him say that as he sits down with his soul and heartbroken. This village finally broke Naruto's will and wanting to move forward. He could hear Kyuubi's voice inside his head, trying to keep him from giving up on life. So she keeps saying caring voices to him. The third Hokage couldn't look at Naruto right now. He thought about to the day that Minato, the fourth Hokage, had ordered the attack on the clan. It was just to kill them, not to rape them. The fourth would never tell his men to rape them, but who would do that to people of their own village? They had feared that the clan was attacking because of Danzo info. Now it looks like that the info was all lies and they had killed a clan for no reason. A clan that was the most loyalists of all clans. He looks at Naruto, which one day he could forgive this foolish village. But the old man knows that he would never fully forgive the village, and he just hopes that Naruto doesn't destroy this village. He couldn't blame Naruto if he did destroy the village. One of many wolves walked over to Naruto and lay down in his lap. Naruto moved his head onto the wolf's head as he moved his wings to cover his body. Naruto right now was so drained of his life that he looks at the wolf with lifeless eyes. The wolf starts licking his face, telling him that it's okay. That the wolves were going to keep him safe and no one was going to hurt him anymore. Naruto, Danzo will pay for what he has done, the Hokage said as he looks at the broken Naruto. The biggest wolf walks up to the Hokage, then looks at him hard. The wolf only looked at the Hokage with hate, then looked at Naruto, and she couldn't stand him being sad. The wolf treats Naruto like her own son and wishes that he could be happy again. She hates anyone that makes her Naruto sad. Why should he listen to a word you say? All you and this village has done is hurt him. You took his name away. You took his clan away. This village has done only took and call him a demon or monster. You are nothing to him anymore. You are nothing and this village is nothing. The wolf yelled and shocking everyone. Right in front of them is a talking wolf, but the Inuzuka are only ones that don't become shocked by this. They used to hearing dogs talk, so to them this is only something that was normal to them. It may not be normal for everyone else, but to them it is. You have all rights to not trust me and hate me. But I do want to try to make it up to him, and I know this village has a lot to pay for. The third Hokage said to the wolf, who just looked back at Naruto. Give Naruto-sama his clan belongings, the wolf said to the Hokage as he looks back at Naruto, who sad eyes. The third Hokage just nodded, then unsealed a scroll. When the scroll was unsealed, 3 things come out. One was a white katana. The katana blade was white, unlike the other katana in the world. The handle of the blade was a blood red, which looks like it was made by a master of crafting. It also has a head of a wolf on the end of the handle. The head was made out of a silver-colored gem. The other 2 things are a ring with his clan sign on it. The ring was a gold-looking ring, which was made out of gold that was crafted into ring by the first leader of the clan. The last thing was a scroll that only someone of his clan can open. The scroll looks like a normal scroll which everyone could tell that it had a seal on it. It could keep that someone was from the clan and that was only person who could open it. The reason why it can keep is because the person has to drop his blood onto the seal. This is what people call a blood seal, which is common to see in the world of shinobi. Naruto-same open the scroll, then give it to Tsume-same the wolf say, as Tsume was wondering why the wolf told him to do that. What was this scroll that she has to get? Naruto took the ring first as he moved it onto his finger. Then he took the scroll and opened it, which he then gave it to Tsume. Naruto had opened it by biting his thumb and wiped the seal of the scroll. He was also wondering why he had to give this to Tsume. Also, he was wondering why he can't read it first. He starts to have a bad feeling about this scroll. Tsume looked at the scroll and starts to read what it said. She was hoping this wasn't something bad. She really didn't want to hear any more bad news today. She looks at Naruto before she starts to read the scroll. She fears that this scroll is bad news because her clan believes that the Ukami clan hates them for asking to move outside the village like they did. Dear head of Inuzuka clan, I understand that you move out of the walls of Konoha like we have been. I know it's been long time since we talk, but we hope that we are still on good terms. We've been making an area for you to build your homes out here, but we feared that people in Konoha are trying to get rid of us. If for some reason we no longer alive and my son is, I hope that our clans can be allies still and become partners. Also, I hope you understand what kind of partners. If the clan head is a woman and not marry, then would you be Naruto mate when he gets older? If you say no, I understand and we will not hold it against you in any way. With this scroll you allowed to go to the land next to our clan grounds. We hope that our fears are not real, but if it is real then please take care of Naruto. He has a power that we don't. He is the fallen one and I hope that you understand what we mean by that. From Tenshi Ukami. Tsume looked at the scroll and couldn't believe that all this time. The Inuzukas thought they hate them for asking so much, but really they wanted them to be allies. Tsume couldn't believe that they asked her to become Naruto partner, and she does know what that means. She only hopes that Naruto lets her be with him, even if it's just to make allies, or maybe it can be more. To her, Naruto is someone with a strong will to go through all the pain the village has given him. Also finding the truth and now going crazy with bloodlust. She also thinks that he is strong because he has heard from his teacher Kakashi that he will do anything to help his teammates. She knows Kakashi didn't train him well, but she can't blame him. He still thinks in the past and wishing his teammates and sensei was alive. She also wishes that her little sister Rin was still alive. What is it, Tsume-sama? What does the scroll say? Inuzuka who has long blue hair that goes to the middle of her back. She also has brown slit eyes like all other member of the clan. She was around 22 and had a nice body on her. This whole time the Ukami didn't hate us but wanted us to move outside the Konoha with them. They had fears that Konoha would turn on them, and I guess their fears come true, Tsume said as few tears come down her eyes. She was truly sad that they lose good friends because of this village dumb thinking. Kami how she would wish that things could be changed, but they can't, so she going make their last wish come true. She's going to be here to take care of Naruto for them. She swears that no one going to stop her from making Naruto happy. Naruto, you should read this. This will change a lot of things for you. Some of them will be nice and good changing. Tsume said to him as Naruto walked over to her. He took the scroll and read it. When he was done, Naruto looked at her, then she just smirked back. Naruto wasn't going to like that smirk, not one bit. He was right to have a bad feeling about this scroll. He was starting to wish he had just burned it then run away fast. He knows if he had burned it then his Ka from run after him to hurt him. It's not all bad. I can tell you that she's right about things going be nice and good. Maybe even fun. Ha 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 ha, when he hears Kyubi said that then he really knows he's doomed. Kyubi for her part was just laughing at him because he still doesn't realize that he going have a mate. A mate that is older than him but also one of the hottest women in the whole village. She still remembers when Naruto father drooled at her when he first met her. She had teased him about it for years because it was so damn funny. leader of the clan, was drooling for Tsum. As Kyubi thinks about the past, she remembers when times was nice, but now she's sealed inside Naruto, which she swears just like Tsum did about keeping Naruto safe and happy. She believes if she does that, then she can be forgiven for failing to save the clan. To her, the clan was a home that she never had. When the clan first let her become a part of it, it was something that she truly was happy about. She never going let them down again. I don't think I going like that smirk. When Tsum heard him say that, she just smiled then smirked to him. She was gonna tease him to no end, but that was for later and not now. But she did wonder if the stories were true about him having a really large stamina output. She had heard stories of him out running Umbu, and she is really hoping that is true as she licks her lips. But she also realizes that Naruto has Kyubi inside of him, which means he most of one big stamina output because of the demon inside of him. Don't worry. We talk about this later. Right now you have to fight your match? Or are you gonna back down now? Tsum asked him as she walked over to her daughter Hannah. Hannah was just wondering what in the world is going on. She was hoping whatever was going on wasn't something bad. She hasn't seen her mother act like this in a long time. When she did, that was the day they found out that Kiba was going to be born soon. Right now she doesn't want any more brothers. Kiba is a pain in her ass as it is, that's why she doesn't want no more brothers like him. Kachan, what going on? Please tell me it's not something bad. I have this bad feeling my life going be doomed soon. The biggest wolf, which was the one that talked to the Hokage, just looks at him. She smirks, which Naruto is really hating everyone that's smirking today. To him, when someone smirks, it means they hiding something or teasing him. He was hoping it was just teasing him right now. Then again, his Ka always teases him, but sometimes she does both teasing and keeps things from him. He finds out later what it is, but it never a good thing. You'll see. So behave little Naruto. Naruto was not liking where this was going. Oh no, he wasn't. This was something Naruto had a feeling that he should be running away as fast as he can. I don't like where this is going, Ka-chan. As Naruto was talking to the wolf, everyone was wondering why he was calling a wolf his mother. Why in the right mind would he call a wolf mother? But it was not wired for Tsum and her clan. To Naruto, she was his Ka. She was the one that broke the seal that the third Hokage had put on him. She was the one that helped him the most when it comes to understanding his clan and powers. To him, she is a second Ka. I bet you will like it a lot. I really bet you that you'll love it, but you'll just have to wait and see. Naruto heard the wolf say, which she starts to laugh after she had told him that, which now Naruto is really starting to hate this day. Let's just get this fight over with, loser. Naruto smirked to him as his replied back. Kiba has no idea what he's getting himself into. Naruto was going to make this mutt learn his place in the world. Tsum, what time is it? He asked her, which she smirked because it was night and she knows that the fallen one powers are stronger when the moonlight is on them. It's night and it's a full moon out today. When she get done talking, Naruto was smirking. Naruto was thinking of the perfect way to teach Kiba where his place is now. I'll fight your Kiba with my bloodline, the fallen one, he said as his body changed. His feet changed into wolf with claws and fur all over his legs and feet like a werewolf. His chest become more toned as it was also covered in a thick fur, and his arms because bigger and was claws for hands. His wings because 2 arms that are little bit under his other arms. His head because a wolf head with teeth of a wolf. Think of a 4-arm werewolf. He then takes his blade into one of his right hands and jump up as he cuts a giant hole into the roof, causing the moonlight to shine down on the area. How Naruto loved looking at the moon, and it's a beautiful moonlight. Naruto could stare at the moon all night without stopping. Most would call him wired or crazy, but a wolf loves the moon. Everyone was shocked to see the new form of Naruto. The Inuzuka women because little bit horny seeing Naruto like this and was wondering what 4 arms can do in other areas besides fighting. Inuzuka women were not like how people talk about them. They don't just go around jumping men. No, but something that was feral or someone that looked more feral or feral like them turned them on. It was just part of being a dog, and yes, they are close to their animals, but they don't go that way. They hate how people talk about them because people that talk about them really just want to think about is hentai things about the clan. Are you coming, Kiba, or are you going to quit now? He asked in a mocking way, which causes Kiba to get pissed and jump down to the fighting grounds, which Naruto knows he's pissing off Kiba. Naruto loves to get under people's skin. To him, that a great pastime he learned from Kyubi. Sumheim, is it okay if I hurt your son? Sum just looked at him and she had a faint blush on her face because no one has called her Heim before. Naruto learned teasing as a pastime as well. Kyubi for her part trained Naruto well in acting like a kitsune. She showed him how to tease women to the point where they blush and sometimes pass out. If you win then maybe you can have some alone time with me, she replied back to him, which caused Naruto to blush, but lucky for him, the fur hidden his red face. Naruto starts to think of what they could do when they have their alone time. Naruto is really glad he's in this form because everyone would see how bad his face is blushing. Kiba was getting pissed for one Naruto the dead last thinks he can beat him. Other reason is that his mother flirting with him. He was gonna rip Naruto apart for doing that. No one has the right to flirt with his mother. Naruto also knows that he's pissing Kiba off by flirting with his mother, so he was more than happy to keep doing it. Naruto then jumps down to where Kiba is. Naruto is wondering how far he can make Kiba get. How much can he piss off Kiba? When Hayate told them to start, Naruto had hit Kiba in the chest, causing him to go backwards into the wall. Naruto then grabs Kiba partner and throws him up to Tsume, which she grabs him. I don't want hurt an animal, so he going stay out of this fight, Naruto said as he rushes at Kiba, who just get up and notices his friend is gone. That wasn't a good thing to have. Inuzuka fights with their partners, but without one they're weaker. That is another reason why he had tossed the dog to Tsume, because he knows that they are weaker without them. He was going to show Kiba that he needs to learn how to fight without his friend always being by his side. His partner will not always been by his side. Kiba needs to learn how to fight one-on-one in order to live in this world. Naruto not going to lie by saying Kiba not too young to learn it, but Kiba is too young. His whole life he was showed how to work with his dog partner, but now he needs to learn how to fight for himself. Kiba try using his family jutsu on Naruto, but Naruto was just too fast, and some of this power is coming from the moonlight. The moonlight was like a power boost for people with the Fallen One bloodline, which is why Naruto put a hole there so he could see the moonlight, which he loves to see, but also he loves the power boost from it. It was like taking 10 solider pills at once. The boost was something he couldn't get enough of. It was like a drug that he needs more of, but hell, he doesn't mind wanting to get more of it. Naruto then grab him with two of his arms and start hitting him with his other two arms. Everyone couldn't believe how powerful Naruto was, and was glad they weren't being hit by his 4 arms. Kakashi was hoping Naruto didn't turn on him for being a bad sensei for him. How he really was hoping he wouldn't do that. Kakashi starts thinking of a way to make it up to Naruto. Not out of being scared, but out of him being an ass of a sensei to him. He just hopes that Naruto will let him made it up to him. Kiba was now on the ground causing his luck, and Hayate had called the match. Naruto was looking down at Kiba, which Kiba was now pissed at Naruto because he had lost to him. To someone everyone believes was the dead last of his class. How come someone like that becomes so strong so fast? How did you get so strong? Kiba asked as Naruto picked him up and laid him down next to his mother's feet. Sum was glad Naruto didn't kill her only son. How she would have been mad, but then again Naruto could give her mother pups. Hana on the other hand couldn't believe someone kick her little brother ass that good and fast. Maybe she could hire him when her brother being a pain in her ass. She could hire him to beat him up so she didn't have to. Nice job, Kit, but did you really have to beat the poor boy up that maid? You most like making people mad. You take after me way too much, ha ha ha. First, my powers are times threefold when full moon shines on me. If the full moon not here, then I would have been even with you, Naruto said to him as Kiba cursed at the moon in his mind. Now he was starting to wish the moon would blow up so he could beat Naruto. Naruto turned back into his normal form, but with his feral sides, and Tsume walked over to him. He was hoping he could get his alone time with her now. He doesn't know why, but he feels pulled to her. Maybe because of her feral looks or that she got a sexy body. But Naruto just wants to have alone time with her. It's funny to him, at first he was thinking this all going doom his life, but now he wants to be alone with her and likes this idea. I guess you won that alone time with me? Tsume asked into his ear as Naruto blushed a deep crimson color. How she was gonna love teasing him. She was hoping that he doesn't get used to her teasing because it's just too fun to do. Naruto, on the other hand, wasn't liking the teasing and was hoping to get used to it soon, because he may die of blood loss if he didn't. She is going to be your mate. When Naruto hears the wolf say that, he looks back at Tsume, then the wolf with a face that was like, what in hell are you talking about? Naruto is starting to hope this is a joke, but part of him wants to be Tsume mate, so he could touch her and do things that no one else can with her. Kyuubi, you're turning me into a pervert, you do know that, right? Why in the world are you doing this for? Kyuubi just giggling to herself when she hears Naruto say that. Because it's fun and all kitsune are perverts, so I want to act more like me. I can see why you're having pervert thoughts about Tsume. At least you're pick someone that can do a good job with you. Maybe you have kitsune, ahahaha. Naruto, on the other hand, was just wishing this day would end. He was also wishing Kyuubi will stop messing with his mind. But that never going to happen. What are you talking about, Ka? Naruto was now worried as he asked the wolf that. The wolf just looked and laughs at the boy who is like a son to her. How clueless he could be at times was so funny to her. But it was also fun to tease him, and how she was going to tease him about this. That scroll that I told you to give to Tsume. It had asked the Inuzuka if it was a female leader to be your mate. Naruto looked at Tsume with a beet red face, which he was hoping that's all the new he is going to hear, but boy was he wrong to hope that. The best part is, you're last of your clan, so you're going to have more than one mate. Naruto just looked at the wolf after she said that, but on her face was a big smirk, then start to really laugh as she sees her son shocked and was blushing more. Cammy, how she was going to love teasing her son to no end. Some would say that was mean, but that a mother job to tease her son. Is that all? Naruto asked the wolf, who was still smirking. Naruto really is hoping that was all the news he going to hear today. Right now he can't believe how the half things that was going on now. First he going have Tsume as his mate, and now he finds out he was going to have more than one mate. Tsume is going to be your first mate, and by clan laws, you have sex with her by the first full moon you pick her. Guess what, tonight the full moon, so you have to get some alone time with her or else. I mean alone time on a bed. When the wolf said that, Naruto was now blushing and having nosebleed, and Tsume had a few shades of red on her face as well. Do I have to? I only 14, Naruto pleaded with the wolf, who just smirked at him. The wolf was loving her job right now. Right now she can't stop laughing or teasing the poor boy. Yes, you do by clan laws, she said, and Naruto wanted to kill the wolf right now. Who could make a 14-year-old have sex? This wasn't fair to him, and the damn clan laws are going to be a pain in the ass. He was hoping there was a way to remove all clan laws. But that never going to happen, because clan laws are something no one can remove. Which Naruto was cursing his luck right now. So Naruto is going to mark me today and I get to be his first? Tsume asked in his ear as his face stay beet red. Then he kisses Tsume on the lips, which she was shocked, then leaned into the kiss. A stalker was sad right now and wanted to run away from the area. She couldn't believe she didn't tell him how she felt. That was because she too shy and passes out when she too close to him. The stalker's goddess of a sensei sees that, she said, and then moves over to her. She knows how it feels to have the one you love like someone else. But she knows that she needs to help her student out right now. Hinata, you shouldn't be sad because you need to get over it before it gets in the way of your shinobi life, Kurenai said to her student as Hinata looks at her sensei. I know, but it still hurts, she said to her sensei, who nods to her. Her sensei looks at Naruto and Naruto sees her staring, then looks into her eyes. She then blushed as she gets lost in his blue slit eyes. When Naruto looks away, she gets out of the stare and stop blushing. The other fights have the same way. Anko then walks up and looks at the shinobi who passed. First match is Naruto Uzumaki versus Sasuke Uchiha, she said, causing Naruto to smirk. He was gonna love kicking the shit out of his so-called teammate. Naruto hated Sasuke because he thought he was a god because of his bloodline and clan. No one is a god and no one is better than everyone else. Thanks, cutie, he said back to Anko in a flirting tone of voice. Tsume smirked because Naruto may have found his second mate. If Anko was not used to people giving her lines like that, she would have blushed. But because she is used to it, she just moves it aside and start walking again. Match 2 Gaara versus Neji. Match 3 Tamari versus Lazy Butt. Last match Batman versus Bandage Face Dude. When she did few insults, the shinobi gave her dirty look, but Naruto then hits each one on the head. Anko smirk also start was liking this blonde for doing that for her. Sumheim, where do you want to have our alone time at? Naruto asked her, which causes her to blush at the nickname he gave her. Let's go to my house, that way no one can ruin it. Because I want to show you how good I can be as your mate, she said as she grabbed him and left in a wave of leaves. Everyone else was wondering what was going on. Kiba was now right that he was getting too close to his mother. He really didn't want to find out that he has to call Naruto too. But how little too late he realized that he going to have to call Naruto that. Hana was having that same kind of thoughts. She didn't want to have a step two that was younger than her. That be too wired and crazy. All the other men were cursing Naruto inside their mind for being so lucky to get Tsum as a girlfriend. That's because Tsum one of the hottest women in this village. So they really want to know how in the fucking hell did Naruto, the person with a demon, got Tsum. The wolves start to leave after Naruto did. Naruto-ka was wondering if Tsum can turn her little boy into a man. She was hoping he doesn't mess up, because if he does and she finds out, she gonna tease him to no end. She smiles as she thinks of ways to tease her little son. When they get to where they want to be, which is Tsum's bedroom, the bed was in middle of the room, as he could tell it was like a normal room. He noticed that it was a clean room unlike his. His place was mess as hell, but he nice to see a room cleaned for once. He would never have thought her room would be normal one. Are you sure you want to do this? He asked as she looks at him. Tsum was smiling because he cares about if she wants to do it or not. Right now she wants to because he's so caring and that she hasn't been with anyone in a long time. Yes, and is this your first time? Tsum asked and he nodded to her. Tsum was happy that she could be his first time and was going to show him how everything works. Naruto was hoping she wasn't going to tease him then. Right now he's been teased way too much for one day. Then let me help you, she said as she kisses his lips. No lemon in this, sorry. But you'll see it in flashback soon. Sorry, I don't want to make too many lemons right away in this story. Only reason why they are having sex is because of the clan laws, or otherwise it would take long time for them to do this. Few hours later Naruto wakes up to see a beautiful naked Tsum onto of him. But he was wondering something about the mark. So he was going to ask Kyubi about it. Because from his ka the mark doesn't look like that. He was wondering if she had something to do with this new mark that was on his mate neck. He was hoping it wasn't something bad or something that can hurt her. Inside his mind. Kyubi, you awake? He asked her, which he sees two giant eyes look at him. He thinks about to the first time he's seen Kyubi eyes. He was only 5, but he was scared because he thought it was a monster that was going to try eating him. Now he's glad he was wrong and that Kyubi is inside of him. She fun to talk to, but she was someone you could come to if you need help on something. What is it? Nice fun last night you had. You keep me up all night, do you know that? She said with a smirk, causing Naruto to blush. He had a feeling that Kyubi was going to tease him about having sex with Tsum. He was starting to regret coming here tonight, but he wants to know more about this new mark. About the new mark, what does it do? Kyubi smirks at him because she knows it going to be fun telling him about it. Also it going to be fun teasing him about it as well. You can't blame her, the only thing she can do inside his mind is tease him. Now she has something to tease him with, so she not going to lose the chance to. Normally it means you're lovers and married, but because you have me inside of you. You can't die of age, so I changed the mark a little. Now your mates can't die of age, so you don't need worry about her growing old. Naruto was now shocked and worried about Tsum and how she going to react to the news. Normally someone would think of that as a bad thing. He was hoping that she doesn't hate him for doing that to her. How can I tell someone that they can't age now? Naruto asked, worried, and Kyubi looked at him. All of the years she has seen him care about everyone and worry about people. She never understands why he was so worried about people that insult him or hurt him. But he was that kind of person who does care and worry. I bet she'll be happy because this way she can see her kids grow up and have their own kids, Kyubi told Naruto, because she want to try to cheer him up and not worry so much. She's hoping that it will work. Naruto had a lot to think of right now, but he didn't want to show Kyubi that he was worried. She has helped him too much to make her feel like this was her fault. Thanks, Kyubi, and how are you doing? He asked her, which she just smiles at him. I'm doing fine and don't worry about me, but you should go back. Your mate waking up. Naruto nodded to her, and he was trying to get used to having someone be called his mate. It wasn't something you can just get used to fast, and he hopes in time he can get used to it. Outside his mind, Naruto looks down as she starts opening her eyes to him. She notices that he has a look that shows that he is worried about something. He hopes she will not hate him when she finds out about the mark. "What's wrong?" she said as he kisses her lips. She was worried that something happened or he was regretting what they had done. Because she doesn't regret it, and she also hoping that he doesn't either. "I just found out that the mark I put on you stops you from aging. Because Kyuubi is inside of me, the normally mate mark was changed." "I'm sorry." Tsum just smiles at him because she was glad that he was worried about her. But she didn't mind not aging because in a way it's a good thing. Now she can see her grandkids grow up, but also this means she can have more pups with Naruto. The age difference made her worry that she wouldn't have long time with him, but now she doesn't have to worry about time. "You don't have nothing to be sorry about. You didn't know, and now I can spend even more time with you," she said to him in a happy tone, which causes Naruto to smile at her. He was truly glad that she wasn't mad at him or hated him. "Thank you." Tsum just kissed his lips, which she was glad that everything happened now. For the first time in a really long time she can lay beside someone. "Mom, where are you? Where is breakfast?" Kiba yelled as he opens door to his mother room to see Naruto under his naked mother, which causes his mind to shut down and pass out. Both of them started to laugh when they see Kiba passed out on the ground. "I think we should get clothes on now," Naruto said to her, which she nodded as she getting up. Naruto looks at her well-shaped ass. "I glad I can get to see that for a long time," he said, which she just looks at him, then looks at where his eyes are looking at and smirks. She then starts shaking her nice ass in his face, which he playfully slaps. One thing she could say about herself was that she had a great ass to show off to him. Naruto puts his boxers and pants on, then looks at his mate starting to put a black thong from her dresser on, but she was doing it slow, really slow, because she wanted to tease her mate. Then she puts on pair of black pants. She then put on a gray shirt without having a bra under her shirt, leaving her D-cup chest free to move around under her shirt. Kami Naruto was in heaven. He finally had someone to love, and it happened to be a goddess-looking woman. Naruto and Tsum walked down to the kitchen, which Hana was waiting, and when she sees Naruto with her mother, she was shocked, but unlike Kiba, she didn't pass out. "What's going on, Ka-san?" she said her mother, which she just smirked back to her daughter. "Naruto is my new mate." When her daughter heard that, she couldn't believe her ears, and she then looked at Naruto. She couldn't say that he didn't look good without his shirt, but he was younger than her. Hana was wishing he was with someone else, maybe like herself, who is closer to his age. But now she going have a step two that younger than her. This was going to be little wired around the house now because of this. She wonders what Kiba going to do about this. Knowing her little brother, he's not going to do anything because both of them know better than to piss their mother off. "How did that happen?" Hana said, and her mother filled her in on what happened. By then Kiba come down and she told him the same thing she told her daughter. Kiba wasn't like his sister. He hated this now because Naruto, the one that beat him in the match, was now his mother mate. In his mind he was wishing he could remove Naruto right now. "I still don't like this." Tsum just looked at Kiba with a look that say too bad because it's not going to change. Tsum wasn't going to give up Naruto because he had beat her son in a fight. "Tsumheim, what do you want to do today?" Naruto asked his mate as she just thinks it over, which Naruto was hoping nothing bad happens because of this. "How about you take me shopping? I need some neat clothes and other things." I'm not going to say in front of Hana and Kiba. She said the last part next to his ear so Kiba and Hana couldn't hear. She knows how good their hearing is, so she did it in a very low tone. "When do you want to leave?" Tsum starts to think about what time to go shopping, and she though it'd be best to go now. She was hoping that Naruto would say yes to her because she didn't want to have to force him to go. "How about we go now, Naruto?" Naruto nodded to her after he heard her say now. She went to go get her money and come back. When she gets back, she sees Naruto talking to Hana and Kiba getting pissed. Naruto sees her and starts walking to her. When he gets to her, both of them start walking out of the main clan house. Their first stop was the park, where Naruto though it'd be a good place to talk about things. He sits down against a tree, then pulls her onto his lap so that she's lying against his chest. Kami Naruto is starting to get used to this and loving every minute of it. He never wants to let her go because for some reason he just can't think of his life without her. He doesn't understand how he could fall this fast. Maybe it was because she is his first crush and soon-to-be love. What are we going to do in the future? He asked her, which she looks at him. I don't know, Naruto, because I have not had a mate in a long time, not since my last one left when Kiba was 4 years old. When Naruto hears that his last husband left them when Kid was only 4, he moves his arms around her and holds her close to him. How he would love to kill him right now if he could. Your last one was an asshole for leaving you, he told her, which she smiles to him. He then kisses her neck. I'll always be here with you, Tsumheim. Once she hears him say that, she smiles and hopes that he really means that. It's nice out here, Tsum said, which she looks up at him and she notices that he's smiling. She knows that Naruto was hated all his life for Kyuubi and for a wrong reason, for Kyuubi attacking the village. Tsum and her clan has never hated Naruto for having Kyuubi inside of him. But no one had any idea that Uzumaki was not his real last name and it was just a cover-up. How could they remove his last name and his clan from him? That is something she may never forgive the village for doing to Naruto, her new mate. She wonder how he lived through all the hate and daily beatings. Naruto hand his hand down her side, then back up her side. He moved his one finger around her jaw lining and to her lips. God, she was his first kiss and first time having sex. Also, she was the first woman to ever to let him touch. She was the first woman that was ever close to him. He never had a hug or anything when he was younger. Naruto was outcast, someone no one wants to know that was alive. Also, he was someone that everyone hated and feared because of Kyuubi. Naruto had no idea why he was hated till the day before he became a genin. Tsumheim, you were the first person I kissed and the first female that let me get close to. I just happy that I found you, he said as she smiled back at him. Naruto, can I ask you something? I really need to ask you this. Naruto was hoping that it was something wrong because he doesn't want to lose her. Not after feeling this new feeling inside his heart. If the clan laws and the deal never happened and I ask you to become my mate, would you have say yes to me? Or would you have say no to me? Naruto kisses her lips as he lays her down, then lays on top of her. I would say yes to you. No one in their right mind would say no to you. You're the first woman to be nice to me. You're the first person to truly like me for what I am. I don't want to lose this new feeling that inside of my heart now. Tsum smiled and moved her arms around his neck as Naruto kisses her lips. Naruto, I know things are moving fast, but please let's keep moving forward together. I know it's going to take time for both of us to say we love each other. So let's just go at a slow pace, okay? Naruto nodded his head as he kisses her neck, which she smiles, then lets out a moan when she feels his lips on her neck. I don't mind going at a slow pace, because it was moving fast, but it's hard not going fast when you are dating a Oni goddess. Tsum smirk at the last part of what he said. She then moves into his chest as he smiles to her. Do you like your new chair? Tsum blushed a few shades, then closes her eyes as she gets used to this feeling. Feeling of someone loving her again and to be this close both body and heart. She hopes that he doesn't walk out on her like her last mate. He said it was because he was getting too bored with the clan. Naruto sees few tears coming down her cheeks. He wipes her tears away as she smiles to him. What's wrong, Tsumheim? Tsum could hear the caring tone in his voice. She then looks into his eyes as she begins to speak. I was just thinking what my last mate said to him as he left. He said it was just too boring in the clan, which he also means that I was boring. She could feel Naruto arms wrap around her, which she feels him get mad. She was glad that he cared about her. Her husband was caring at the start, but after Kiba was born, he become cold and more like an asshole, like a caring person. I promise to always be here with you. When she hears Naruto said that, she smiles, then turns around on his lap, so her legs are wrapped around his waist. He then kisses his lips in a loving and passionate way. Naruto moves his arms around her neck and deepens the kiss with more passion and love that he has for her. Let's go shopping now, Tsum said once she broke the kiss. Naruto nodded to her. Where do you want to start shopping at first, Tsumheim? Tsum looked at him as she tries to think of where the best place to start is. That's when her guts starts to make sounds which cause Naruto to laugh a little bit. Naruto then kisses her neck as he moves his arm around his as he keeps laughing, which she just looks at him. No laughing at me, Narukuin. Tsum looked at him with a pouting face which Naruto cups her face as he kisses her lips. Doing this causing her to stop pouting, also kiss him back by deepen the kiss. Naruto moves his hands around her as he leans deeper into the kiss. Tsum was going to keep going on, but everyone was starting to stop and look at them. She didn't to cause a group of people to form around them as they kiss. So she breaks the kiss and looks at him, which he just smiles to her. Let's go somewhere to eat. How about at a place that you like to eat at? Naruto nods his head to her as he takes her hand in his as he moves to the ramen stand. He wonders how the old man and I am going to react to this. To him being with someone who's known as the hottest MILF in the village. He's gonna love to see how they react to this. After all, Naruto has a kitsune inside of him, but also he is a prankster at heart. When Naruto and Tsum get to the ramen stand, they take a sit. I am an old man look at Naruto, then looks at Tsum. They know who Tsum is but never had the chance to see her in their ramen stand. Most of the clan heads don't visit this place, and why they do, it's only because Naruto forced them to come here to buy him ramen. Sometimes they wonder if the reason they are doing so good in money is because of Naruto. Naruto-kun and Tsum-sama, what can I get you to? I am asked them as Tsum looks at her because she hates being called Sama. She doesn't like that because to her it makes her feel old. But then again, everyone sees her as the clan head and not the hot woman that she wants people to see her as. That was one of the other reasons she was glad that she's with Naruto, because he sees her as the hot woman, not the clan head. You don't need to call me Tsum-sama. I hate being called that because it makes me sound old. Naruto starts to laugh at that, which she looks at him. Naruto just moves his hand under the table and to her thigh. Tsum was wondering why did put his hand on, which she was hoping he wasn't going to do anything in front of everyone. He is a prankster by blood, and because of the QB inside of him just makes him a bigger one. He moves to Tsum's ear and whispers, "No way you could sound old because you're way too sexy. Maybe I can show you that later tonight?" Her cheeks get a little bit pink as she looks at him. She was happy that he could tease her back once she teases him because it makes it more fun that way. But also she wasn't going to let him win no matter what, even if she has to strip in front of him, but that was only when they are all alone. How do you two know each other? Naruto smiles at Ayam because here is what he wanted her to ask. In his mind he was thinking of the best move to make right now. But Tsum had beaten him to it as she starts to talk. Naruto is my mate. Naruto looks at her, which she just smirks back to him. She was wondering what was taking him so long to tell her. So she just figured that he was trying to be his prankster self again. Which she was glad she beat him to it, because this way she got back at him for making her blush. Ayam, on the other hand, couldn't believe that Naruto was dating someone. She knows that mate means lover, which she was shocked that Naruto likes older ones. She then looks at Tsum, which she has to say that Naruto had picked one of the hottest women in Konoha. She remembers when people come in here and talked about her and few other women. She just glad no one talking that way about her in front of Naruto. Naruto wasn't someone to let people talk about people he cares about like that. Looks like you are showing your true self, Naruto. It's about time. I mean, really, this was way too long of an act. Tsum looks at Ayam, which she must have known about Naruto hiding everything. Also, she had heard stories about Naruto always coming to this place because the owner was nice to him. So she guesses that the owner daughter would be kind to him as well, and she was glad that he had someone in his life that cared about him. Yeah, and I'm glad that I did stop hiding it. That is because now I'm with Tsumheim, which makes me the happiness man alive. Nothing else can make me as happy as Tsumheim makes me feel. Tsum starts to blush as he said that. She was glad that he feels that way about her, because she feels the same way about him and hopes that he never leaves her like her last mate did. It's about time you found someone to be with. I was worried that you may turn out to be like that Uchiha if you didn't start getting a female to date. I mean, he has how many fangirls and never once got laid, but he did like looking at men all the time. Tsum starts to giggle as Naruto looks at Ayam. Naruto would never go that way because he always likes looking at women body, but also he loves how Tsum is in bed. Don't worry, he's like girls, and after last night, I don't think he will even stop wanting a woman's body. Am I right, my little kitsune? Ayam looks at Naruto with a blushing face because she had no idea that he would have sex before she would. Naruto also had a beet red face as he looks at his mate who is busy giggling at him. She really loved making him blush because it was so easy to do because he was still an innocent little kitsune in her mind. What can I get you too? Naruto smiles at the old man, which he still has his smile on like always. Naruto never understands why the man always smiles. Maybe it's because he wants people to be happy. But he did have an idea to get back at Tsunheim by how he asked Naruto what he wanted. Some of Tsunheim, but that's later tonight, but right now beef ramen. Naruto smirks as Tsum blushes this time. Naruto was happy he got her back for making him blush before. She just looks at him as she comes up with an idea of her own. If you act like that, then maybe you can sleep outside tonight. Naruto looked at her as he starts to kisses her neck. You don't mean that, right? Tsum giggles as she kisses his lips back, which she then moves her hands down his sides and feels his bare skin. She was stopped when Ayam put her hand on her shoulder. She was wondering why the teenage woman was trying to stop her from enjoying her lover. As much as everyone would love for you two to do that right here. This is a place for eating and not that. They can hear few boos from men who wanted to see Tsum undress, which some of them had wives or girlfriends with them. Said wives and girlfriends slapped they husbands and boyfriends in the face. Tsum, on the other hand, was blushing because she was going that far in front of everyone. She had forgotten all about everyone but Naruto right there and then. She didn't know how Naruto could do that to her. But she was glad that he had that kind of power over her. I would like a beef ramen too. Naruto moves his arm around her waist as she moves her head on his neck. Naruto can feel her hot breath on his neck, which he smiles to her. He really is glad now about the clan rules and that his mother had asked Tsum to be with him. For the first time his clan had helped him by doing this for him. But he wishes that his clan was still alive, which he misses them. He wants to know what his family faces looked like and who they were. I really don't know your clan rules, but what happens if your ex-mate comes back? Naruto looked at her because he doesn't want to lose her to that asshole. He swears he will kill him before he lets him touch his beautiful goddess. Tsum looks at him, which she can tell that he is worried about losing her. She smiles at him because she is glad that he truly cares about her to worry about her. If he had left like he did, then he had no clan rights at all. If the clan head or member mate was say to be died then come back. Then they may have to be forced to be with him again. But you have nothing to worry about, my little Narukuin, because he can't do anything. Naruto kisses her lips as he moves her head back to his neck. Naruto was slowing, becoming less worried now thanks to Tsum. He never will let anyone take her away from him, even if he has to destroy this whole village. Can I ask? When are you going to have a wedding? You are having a wedding, right, and am I invited to it? Naruto looks at her as she looks at him. They had forget about making the wedding because in her clan, becoming mates is like having a wedding, but they know that their friends may want to see a wedding for them. We really haven't though about that because it's only been a day since we became mates. Normally in my clan becoming mates is like getting married. But I guess for the sake of our friends we can make a wedding. Naruto just thought of something. If they clan didn't do wedding, then was this going to be her first? Tsunheim, will this be your first wedding that you ever had? She nods to him as he kisses her lips. I promise that I going make it the best you even seen or had. That's a promise of a lifetime. She smiles as him. She doesn't try to talk him out of it because she can't talk him out of doing it. Thank you, Narukuin. He smiles as he sees the old man bring him their ramen. Tsum slowly takes some of Naruto food, then moves it to his mouth. He opens his mouth as she puts it in. Once the ramen was in his mouth, she moves her mouth to his. She starts to slip her tongue inside of his mouth. Naruto couldn't believe that he was doing something like this in front of people, but he wasn't going to lie. That is because he loves doing this as he wraps his tongue again hers. Taste of her tongue and ramen at the same time. When they got done and Naruto finally eats the ramen in his mouth, they look at each other, then people around them. Everyone was looking at which caused them to eat their food without saying a word. Naruto pays for the both of them as he says his goodbyes to them. Naruto and Tsum walk out of the ramen place, which Naruto moves his arm around her waist again. Where to go now, Tsunheim? Tsum looks, then comes up with an idea to cause her mate to have a nosebleed. How she knows that he will have one after what she planning on doing to him. I do need some things to wear, and I really know that you want me to try them on in front of you, don't you? Naruto was having an idea what kind of things to show me was about, which he wasn't going to lie, it was sounding like a great idea to him. He gets to see his mate try on things on, he would love to have his way with her then. Naruto nods his head to her, which she leads him to the women clothes place called Wild Fantasies. Now, he was really wondering what she was going to try on for him to see. When both of them walk into the place, Naruto sees a lot of things he would like Tsume to try on for him. But as they are walking more into the place, they see the person behind the desk was Kurenai Yuhi of all people. They had no idea that Kurenai works in a place like this, which Tsume just smirks to her. When Kurenai sees them, she blushes because today she was helping her friend because she's sick and in bed. But the day that she helps her friend is the same that Tsume and Naruto walk into here. But she wonders what Naruto is doing with Tsume. Kurenai-chan, I didn't know you work here. I also never thought you were kind of girl that would like to work in a place like this. Maybe you just wanted to try on these kind of clothes? Tsume smirks as she says that to Kurenai, which she just blushes even deeper shade of red because of Tsume teasing. Tsume-chan, I'm only here because my friend is sick and I'm taking over for her job till she gets better. Also, I'm not into this kind of clothes, but maybe when I get a boyfriend I may start to. Tsume just smirks to her as she starts to walk around to find things to try on in front of Naruto. How she wanted him to have a nosebleed, but she had a more evil idea to do to him. How have you been, Kurenai? Everything going okay for you with your life? Kurenai was shocked that Naruto wasn't bothered by being in this kind of place, which she also realizes that Tsume was getting things to try on in front of Naruto, which she still couldn't believe that both of them were going out together. She wonders what kind of things she will try on in front of Naruto because she had never done anything like that. I've been going, and thank you for asking, Naruto. But are you waiting for her to pick things out for her to try on in front of you? I had no idea you had a pervert side to you, little Naruto. You most like the idea of her doing that for you? Naruto just blushes as he nods his head, then looks at her, which he notices something. The thing he noticed was that she wasn't in her bandage-looking dress. She was now wearing what looks like a pair of black pairs and a low-cut red shirt. He couldn't believe she loved this great without her bandage dress, but he wonders why she wears that. But he was also glad that he turned around to look at his mate when he did. She was bending over, which he could a good view of her ass. When Tsume looks over, she can see him staring at her ass, so she shakes it little bit before getting up. Kurenai couldn't believe that Tsume had done that and was glad that there weren't any other men to see that. Because if there was, they may have tried something like slap her ass or grab it. But if that happened, then Naruto would hurt them or kill them, so she really is glad no one else is here. Naruto, on the other hand, was smirking as she done that to him. She is a little wild, but are you sure you can handle her, Naruto? You are after all younger than her. Naruto smirks at that, which he just thinks about what happened last night. Yes, she is wild, and he loves how wild she is between the sheets. Naruto knows that he can handle her, and after how he handled her last night, which Tsume knows that he can as well. Yes, she is in more ways than one. Kurenai can tell what he means and can't believe that the two of them did that. They only start seeing each other yesterday. They see Tsume walk up to them with clothes to try on as she wakes up to them as Naruto sees that she got many things to try on. Let's go, and I know you want to see what they look on me, but I want you to wait and see them as your. She moves to his ear and whispers, ripping them off me at night. Naruto blushes as he thinks of doing that to her. How about you try on few now for me, Tsumeheim, and we do that to others later. Naruto asked HR as he kisses her neck and lips, which she knows that he wants to see her in few badly. Tsume just smirks as she takes his hand and walks towards the changing room, which Kurenai was watching them go inside, as she just shakes her head. Once they get into the changing room, Tsume starts to take her shirt off as Naruto was standing there smirking. Tsume then takes her pants off as she's standing there in front of her with just her panties. Naruto moves up her as he cups her breasts with his hands and moves them gently as she moans. Bad Kitsune, you have to wait for tonight to do that. He licks her nipple, then moves back so she can try clothes on. She puts on what looks like a red bra which has holes for her nipples to stick out as Naruto smirks. His fingers goes to her nipples and plays with them as they grow hard, and Tsume looks at him. She moves his hands off her nipples as she puts on one of her nightgowns that she got for herself. It was an orange see-through one, which Naruto likes the color orange on his mate. For being a bad kitsune, that's all trying on I'm going to do. She takes nightgown off and bra. She puts her shirt back on, but before she could put her pants on, Naruto gives her ass a nice hard slap, causing her to jump a little bit. She then puts her pants back on as both of them walk out of the changing room. Tsum hands Kurenai the clothes as she rings the clothes up, which Tsum pays for the clothes before Naruto could try to pay for them. "How come you didn't let me pay for them?" Tsum smiles at him because she knows he wants pay for her all the time, but thing is he's still a genin and she is a clan head. She knows that he doesn't have money to pay for them because if he did, then she wonders what he's been doing on the side. But Naruto, on the other hand, didn't like that she stopped me from paying for her. To him, she was his mate and he wanted to pay for things that she wanted to buy. Because it cost way too much for you to pay for it. Maybe when you're a Juin I let you pay for everything. Naruto smiles as he holds the bags for her. There is an about 5 to 6 bag, which he wonders how many things she bought. "I have to go meet my team, how about we go back to your house first?" Tsum nods her head to him, which she happy that he has to go. That way she has time to set up everything for tonight. She couldn't help but smirk at the times she thinking about doing to him or showing him. That was one good thing about dating someone older than you. That is because they know more things and can show you more things. Once they get back to Tsum house, he kisses her and says his goodbyes for now. He starts heading to the training grounds because he knows that his sensei is always late and he doesn't want to wait for him. So for once he was going to be late and he was happy about it. Spending time with his mate was something that was worth being yelled at for being late by his team. With Naruto. Naruto is walking to the training grounds. Once he gets to the grounds, he sees Kakashi with Sakura and Sasuke. For the first time, he was the one that is late, which he had good feeling that he was going to be. "What's up, everyone?" Everyone can see how happy he is and wonders why. Everyone but the perverted Kakashi, who's seen Naruto leave with Tsum and adds 2 and 2 together. "You are one lucky bastard. You got to have the hottest MILF in bed. Where were you, dope?" Naruto looks at him as he then looks at the Banshee that's yelling her head off about him being late. He never understand why he, even though she was a good person at one point of his life. Now he sees her true colors, and that was a horny fangirl Banshees that wants the last Uchiha to fuck her dry and fangirl pussy. "Naruto, can I talk to you for a minute?" Naruto was wondering why Kakashi wanted to talk to him, but he was going to find out anyway. He nods his head as he follows him away from the team. He was just hoping that Kakashi wasn't going to try and kill him, because if he did, then Naruto will kill his so-called sensei without even thinking about it. "I know you hate me for not training you like I should have, like a real sensei would have done. I just can't let the past go and my old teammates. That's why I forced on Sasuke, because I had a teammate that saved my life who was an Uchiha. But unlike Sasuke, he didn't want people to treat him like he was better than them. He wanted to be a normal life like everyone else had, but he died saving my life. He gave him his eyes because I had lost my eye when I did a foolish mistake on a mission. Then I lost the women I loved because she disappeared on the battlefield, which I tried to find her but can't find anything at all. Then I lost Minato, who was like a second father to me. That is why I showed signs of hate to you. Because the QB took away the last person that I cared about. I'm sorry for what I have been to you. I just hope you let me make it up to you once the Chunin test is over. I'm being forced to take Sasuke and train him for the time being." Kakashi was truly sorry for all the mistakes he did when it come to being Naruto-sensei. He just wishes that he could go back in time and be with the 3 people that he cares about and loves. Naruto couldn't believe someone as Kakashi with his pride was asking him to forgive him like this. Only bad thing that Kakashi did to him was not train him, but Naruto understands that why now. He needs to move on and let the past go before it kills him. "I will let you, but you need to let the past go before it kills you, which it not just hurt you but the ones around you as well." Kakashi gives him a smile under his mask because he's thankful that he will let him make it up to him. But also he knows that Naruto is right about it may kill him or the ones around him. "I promise to try to live now and not in the past anymore, and let's go back to the others, but did you and Tsum really do that last night?" Naruto nods his head to him. "Damn, you one lucky person to get some of that sexy ass of hers." That's when Naruto smirks as he looks at him. "Also, I'm getting it tonight again." That's what shocked Kakashi, because not just once but more times his student getting it more than him. "I take that back. You're not lucky person, you're one lucky bastard." Naruto just laughs as he gets to his teammates, which his teammate are wondering why Naruto was laughing like that. I'll be taking Sasuke with me to train for the month. That means that Sakura, you need to train on your own for the time being. Naruto, most likely Tsum can train you in more than one area, and maybe that kind of training will be more fun. Naruto blushes as he hears that, then sends Kakashi a death glare, which he just takes Sasuke and disappears. Naruto starts to walk off to his place. He needs to get a new change of clothes on. As he walks to his house, he stops by the dango shop because he sees Kurenai and Anko talking. When he gets closer, Kurenai looks at him, which Anko just giggles at him. What's with the giggling? Both of them look at each other because he most not knows what's going to happen later tonight. Anko couldn't believe that he was really dating Tsum and that she had tired clothes on for him. Nothing, Naruto-kun, we are just having nice happy giggling. What's wrong with that? Anko replied back with an innocent look on her beautiful and sweet face. Naruto just slaps himself on the head inside his mind. She must have told Anko about Tsum trying on clothes in front of him or something like that. What is so damn funny and is so funny, and is it about Kurenai telling you that Tsum try on clothes in front of me? If it is, then how come it's so funny then? I know this all started with it. Kurenai blushed, and now you're laughing because of it. Anko just smirks to him as Kurenai looks around because she had never done that before. She had never tired clothes on like that in front of someone. Then again, she has only been naked in front of someone only one time, and that was the first time she had sex. But Anko, on the other hand, though, it was so funny because her best friend was blushing about talking about it. We don't know what you're talking about, Naruto-kun, so stop worrying about things. But you will have fun tonight with your Tsum, and maybe she will tell us all about it. Naruto just shakes his head as he couldn't believe that two of them. Do all women around here share stories like that with each other? Also, how did she know about tonight? Did she talk to Tsum or something? I have to ask Tsumheim if she talked to Anko just now. Because Anko really does love to tease people, doesn't she? But I know it's all a act. What did you think women do when they get together? Just say hello or sit there bored? You really need to learn more about women, Naruto-kun. Naruto just shakes his head again because now Kyuubi is acting like that, which she just giggles as well. Sometimes he wonders why things always happen to him. He wonders if the Hokage will help him train, but he wishes he doesn't have to ask him for help. He hates the man, but he knows that he is still Hokage, and even if it was all a lie, he was there for him. He may not trust him and may never trust him, but he wasn't the one that he wants to kill. The one he wants to kill is that old hawk and leader of the Root Umbu. But he does remember the times when the old man helped him and watched over him, so maybe one day he can forgive him. When he gets to the tower, he sees the girl from the sand village outside the door that leads inside the tower. Naruto walks over to her. As she sees him, she worries what he will do to her. He reminds her of her brother, who is a jailer just like he is, but her brother only one tail and Naruto is the 9-tail. She doesn't know how well his mind is, because if he has stronger one, then maybe his mind is crazier than Gaara. What was your name again? Sorry that I don't remember your name. She was worrying why he was trying to talk to her. She had, though he was going to hurt, like, because of the demon inside of him. But maybe not all of them jailers are crazy like her brother, which she hopes so. Temari, and why do you want to know my name for? Naruto could tell that she was scared of him. He figures that he most because of what happened at the Genin fight. But he couldn't blame her for being scared of him after what he did in the fighting arena. Sometimes he wonders why he's not sacred of himself. You don't need to be scared of me, and thanks for telling me your name. I don't know why you are so scared of me, but you really don't need to be. When looks into his eyes as she sees his calm and gentle aura around him. She couldn't believe that he didn't have an aura like her younger brother did. How come he doesn't have the share time of aura? After all, they both have demons sealed inside of them. How come you're heading to the Hokage Tower today, Naruto? Naruto smirks at her because she remembers his name, but he didn't remember her name. Damn, I look like a fool. She remembered my name, but I forget hers. That one way messed things up before I start. Just need to see the old man. Why are you wondering what I'm doing? Temari just looks at him as she starts walking away, and Naruto looks at her, which she does have nice chest and good ass. But it doesn't come close to the one Tsum has. Then again in his mind, no one can come close to being better than his Heim. You're now starting to like looking at other people now, but you most like women's ass, don't you? Do you want see my human form asked to? Aha, you say that I'm a pervert, but look at you. Naruto just rolls his eyes as she says that because Naruto has seen her human form and he can't say she doesn't look good. Naruto smirks as he starts thinking of images of Kyubi in her human form in Doggy and he taking her from behind. Kyubi blushes as she sees the things he is thinking of and stops teasing him. Naruto starts to walk inside as he sees the old man sitting in his chair like always. The Hokage was wondering why he was here to see him, but he was glad that Naruto had walked into this office again. He may not know why Naruto was here, but he just hopes one day he can forgive this old fool of a man. Naruto looks at him, which he doesn't like that he may need this old man's help. But he knows sometimes in order to grow stronger you need to move your pride aside and hate as well. I was wondering if you can help me train. The Hokage could tell that he really doesn't want to ask him for help. But this way he may get Naruto to learn to like the village and forgive them. So he knows that he was going to do whatever he can in order to make it up to him, and if elders don't like it then they can all go to hell. That is because this village has took everything away from him and hated him for something that this village caused in the first person. What do you need help with? What kind of training are you talking about? Naruto looks at him. He really hates that he needs to help this man for help. But he needs to learn how to use his katana better, which he can't learn that on his own. He knows that Tsum doesn't know how to use a katana and part of his was glad for that. He doesn't want to see her mad at him and with a sword in her hand that was something that spelled pain for him. I need to learn how to use my katana better, and I know Tsum can't help me in that area. If I don't learn how to use it better then I can't use it as well as I need to. The old man smiles at Naruto because he knows the perfect person to get for him. But he just hopes that she can get over her lover death by helping Naruto train. Maybe Naruto still has the power to change people and can save her from doing something to herself. I know someone who will start to teach you tomorrow, which she will come and find you when she starts to train you. I hope that I can help you later on as well. If you need anything just ask. Naruto can tell by the old man voice that he means what he says. He wishes that things didn't happen as they did because then he could have trusted the old man. Even though he knows that old man had little part in what his clan did, somewhere inside of him doesn't hate him. Naruto starts to walk out of the Hokage office, which he runs into Irika. Irika was someone that he could trust because he didn't know what was going on, but he was still nice to him. Even after the Kyubi had killed his family, Irika never once did show him hate, but sometimes yelled at him. But that was only because he played pranks on him and did things he shouldn't have done. He was like a big brother to Naruto, which he was glad of because Irika was one of the first people to truly be nice and kind to him. Hello Naruto, how are you doing too? Naruto smiles to the Chunin because he truly was glad that Irika was nice to him when he was younger and still is. He is also glad that after what everyone found out yesterday that he was still nice to him. Part of him has love for this hell of a village, and that is because of the few people in this village that he cares about. I'm doing good, and how about you? Irika looks at Naruto and he can tell something bothering him. Maybe he can get Naruto to tell him what it is. He never did like seeing things bother Naruto because he has too many burdens as it is. Once he found out what happened yesterday, he couldn't believe this village had done that and made Naruto life to be hell for something they did. He was happy that he didn't blame Naruto like everyone else because real killer of his family was the village. I'm doing well but busy as hell, never a day without kids in school yelling or causing trouble. What is it that bothering you? You look like something is. Naruto wonders if Irika knows what he should do about the village. I was wondering if you know how I should do about the village once I found out the real reason everything happened. Part of me doesn't hate the village, but the other part of me wishes to see it all burn to the ground for killing my clan. I just don't know what to do anymore. Irika was wondering if Naruto was going to ask him that because even he doesn't know what he should do about sometimes like that. I really don't know what to tell you because I never had to go through what you're going through now. Only thing I can tell you is that you need to follow what your heart says and not your mind. Naruto smiles as Irika as he realizes that he was right about following your heart and not your mind. His heart is saying to keep Tsum safe and happy no matter what. Thank you, that really helped Irika. I hope I see you again soon. Naruto walks away as Irika smiles to himself because he doesn't know how he helped Naruto, but he was glad that he was smiling. Maybe someday he will learn to forgive this foolish village for what he has done in the past. He walks back over to his favorite place to eat. As he gets inside, he sees 3 women from Kumo, which he does knows people are coming here for the Chunin, but he didn't see anyone from Kumo. There was no team from them in the test this time, but then again they may be with their leader to see how this year of Genins are doing. It wasn't rare for other leaders to watch the tests in order to see how the other villages were growing in power and skill. Naruto goes down and sits next to them as he looks at the 3 of them. First one to catch his eyes was the one in the middle with blonde hair and 2 beautiful blue eyes as she eats her ramen, which he also noticed that she has one hell of a chest. It was the biggest that he has even seen, but he then looks to her right. She has red hair and yellow eyes, which her skin was darker than the other 2. She didn't have as big as her friends, but she was a nice size. The one on the left had long blonde hair as well, but she has green eyes. Her eyes were like 2 beautiful gems as they grow, which Naruto then looks at Ayam as she walks over to him. "You're back again, Naruto-kun?" When she asked them, the 3 women look over and see Ayam talking to Naruto. "What can I say? I love eating at this place, and that's because it has the best ramen in the world." Ayam smiles to him as she takes his order and goes back to where her father is cooking. The 3 women just keep looking at Naruto, which he just smirks because he can tell that all 3 of them are older than him. "Is there something on my face, or do you just like looking at me?" he said to the 3 women, which they blushed because that wasn't why they were looking at him. Okay, everyone but middle woman wasn't looking at him because of that. "Don't get too big of a ego, that wasn't why we were looking at you." The one with eyes of a cat said back to him as he just gives them a kitsune smirk, which the middle one blushes then looks away. "I see, so are you here to watch the fights?" Once they hear him ask that, they just nod their heads to him. "You must be here with your Raikes then." Again they nod their heads to him as he just closes his eyes as he sees his ramen being put down on the table in front of him and I am moving away. "What do you think of this village so far, and what are your names?" The on one the right smirks as she looks at him with her yellow eyes as he just looks back at the 3 of them, waiting for them to say something back to him. It's rude to ask someone else's name before giving your own name first. That when Naruto just smirks back at her as he likes how she acts towards him. It'd not be fun if the people just told you who there are without little fire to it. "My name is Naruto Ukami, and what are your names?" Naruto just looks at them as he and wonders what Tsum would do if he found out about him talking to women like this. But he was told that he has to bring back his clan, and he knows he needs more than just one mate. "My name is Samui, and one to my right is Kurai, and one to my left is Yujito-ni, and why are you so friendly to us? We are from another village and not from yours." Yujito was now lost in thought. She starts to talk to someone inside her head. Did that brat say Ukami kitten? That was the clan that Kyubi guarded from harm. Yujito was shocked to find out that the Queen of Demons was nice to a human clan, but the thing is no one knows that they aren't demons but the so-called demons themselves. Your clan is the one that is guarded by the 9-tailed demon Kyubi. Her 2 teams were shocked that a demon was doing that, and Naruto was kind of shocked that someone knows about his clan and Kyubi. Not anymore, this village attacked and killed my clan as they slept, and Kyubi found out and attacked the village. Now the Kyubi is inside me, and don't call them demons because they are far from demons. They are 9 guardians that Kami herself put here in order to keep humans from killing each other to the point of total death of the race. Yujito had no idea that she had a holy guardian inside her, but that when she starts to hear the Nibi saying that he was right. "So you're a jail too? But why would they attack a clan that was from their own village?" Now looks at Yujito, which he just closes his eyes as he thinks about why and what they killed his clan. Sometimes the pain doesn't go away as he thinks about it, and it may never go away for good. "I'm the last of me clan because the 4th the Hokage was told lies about my clan going attack the village. My clan lived on its pride and loyalty and never would turn on their allies and friends. When Kyubi found my clan members killed and women raped, she attacked the village, and the 4th Hokage died, sealing the Kyubi inside of me. He used a jutsu that cost him his life. Now 3 Kumo shinobis couldn't believe that this village would do something like that to a clan. They have heard about the Uchiha clan being killed by one of its own members, but this was something far worse. How did you live knowing all of this? How did you put up with living in a village that did all these evil things to your clan?" His eyes move to Samui, which he knows the only reason he is still alive or in the village is because of the seal. The seal that took away his past and everything Kyubi told him that day. Flashback. Naruto, a 7-year-old boy, was now pissed off because he just found out that his real name isn't Uzumaki, and that's because his real name is Ukami. He was on his way to yell at the old man and hurt him for killing his family. How could this village have done something like that to one of their own clan? Naruto kicks the door open as the old man can see that Naruto was pissed off, and he was wondering why, but that stopped when Naruto went into his bloodline and grows his 2 wings. You killed my clan and gave me a name that isn't my real one. Who the fucking hell do you think you are, old man? You had no right. Naruto didn't get chance to do anything as the old man was now holding him against the wall. I'm sorry, Naruto, but this is for your old good, he said as he does hand signs and uses a seal on Naruto's head as he starts to forget about what he just learned and how to talk to Kyuubi. When Naruto woke up, the old man told him that he hit his head on the ground and was now in the Hokage office. End flashback. Once Naruto told them all that happened, to say that they weren't shocked was something that was like saying Jiraiya wasn't a pervert who spies on women in bathhouse. They couldn't believe that the Hokage of this village would do something like that to a little kid. Yujito couldn't hold it as she grabs Naruto and pulls him into a hug. Naruto was catch off guard as she did that and was wondering why she was doing that. I see Naruto-kun is looking for people help him bring back his clan now? All 4 of them had a blush on their faces as they looked to see who said that. Naruto was now shocked because Tsum was now standing there with a smirk on her face and sits down next to them. Tsumheim, what are you talking about? Naruto trying to get out of his mouth as she just smirks again, then looks at the 3 women that look great but older than Naruto. It's okay. I know you have to bring your clan back, but you really go for older women. 3 women about to yell, which Tsum realizes she should stop teasing them now. I'm just joking with you 3, but if you want you could have him. Naruto just shakes his head as the 3 women calm down and look at Naruto and her. Is this your girlfriend or something? Yujito was the first one of the group to start talking again. I'm his first mate and not his last one. Also, the village is now forcing him to have more than one mate, and they try and get girls you dislike with you. Naruto just shakes his head as he looks up at Tsum with a why in hell look on his face. This why I can't stand this village, already forcing me into doing that thing, and even when I don't want more than one love. All 4 women smirk to him as he just looks at them. How about you show these women around Konoha and meet me up at my house later? Tsum said as she kisses his lips and walks out of the ramen place as Naruto just looks at Tsum, then her ass as she walks away. Do you want me show you around Konoha? Samui nods her head as they pay for their food and start to walk out of the place. Where do you 3 want to go first? That's when Kurai remembers that they need to find the Hokage Tower because the Raikes should be there by now, and same with their sensei and teammate. We need to go to the Hokage Tower to meet the Raikes and our sensei and last teammate. Naruto just looks at her as he nods his head and starts walking to the Hokage Tower with the 3 of them behind him. Naruto shows them where the Hokage office is, and when they get inside, they see a large man with 8 swords, which Naruto was wondering how could he use that many at one time. Next to him is a man in the Raikes clothes and hat as he's talking to the old man. The other side of the 2 is a younger person, which must be their other teammate. You 3 took forever to get here, the youngest man of the group said to them as Naruto just looks at them. We stopped to get something to eat and asked Naruto to show us the way here. That's when he looks at Naruto, which he was wondering who the hell he is. Sorry, I don't go that way. Once Naruto says that to him for staring at him, everyone in the room laughs as he just gets pissed off. Naruto, let me show you who these people are. The one you just pissed off is our teammate Omoi. The big man with the swords is our sensei Kira, and don't say anything about his last name. Naruto just closes his mouth because Kira looks at him evilly, which he knows better not to say anything about his last name. Thank you for showing them the way here, the Raikes said as Naruto looks at the 2 of them. It was my pleasure to help these 3 beautiful women. The women in the room just blush as they look at him, which he just smirks to them. The Hokage and Raikes just smirk as well, which the Hokage realizes something. I'll be going, and I hope to see you 3 again and soon. Naruto walks out of the Hokage office as he thinks about Tsum and the Kumo shinobi women. Sometimes he wonders how come he meets so many great women with the Hokage after Naruto left the room. He really is an odd one at that, Raikes said to the old man, which he just nods his head. Both the group of people inside the office heard someone walk in. As the old man looks at the person, it was Kushina. She's the wife of the fourth Hokage, which was the thing that he realizes. He had forgotten that she was coming back to the village with her two daughters. Kushina-chan, it has been a while, but I have some bad news. The reason your husband killed the clan was a lie by Danzu. Also, Naruto now knows the truth of what happened, and the seals no longer hide it. Kushina was now shocked, but she also had a feeling this was going to happen. She never thought the clan was going to try to kill him, but she couldn't say anything to help them. So now that young boy has to live with a burden that we are to blame for. How has the QB took over his mind yet? The old man just shakes his head because the QB would never hurt Naruto. After all, QB was the one that named Naruto and is in a way his godmother. She would never hurt Naruto, and that is because she named him, but also in a weird way she is his godmother. So there is nothing to worry about with Naruto and QB, but Naruto may never forgive this foolish village. That's good then, which it means at least the burden he has to live with isn't making it harder for him. I just hope he can forgive this village as well. I know that Minato never wanted to kill the clan or seal away QB inside of that boy. Kushina wishes that she can have her husband back, and this sad event never had happened. You don't need to worry about him. To me, he seems like a strong person who will go far in this world. Hokage and Kushina look at Samui as she said that to them. No one would have guessed that Samui would be the one to say that about someone. Does someone have a crush on the little blonde hair boy? Yujito starts to tease Samui, which she just looks at her. Back with Naruto, who's walking back to his mate's home. When Naruto finally gets to the Inuzuka clan house, he wonders if she's home or out somewhere. He knows he has to wait about 10 hours to find out what she's going to do for him tonight, but he wants to spend time with his new mate. As he gets closer to the place, he notices someone walking in. He starts to follow after him to the clan house door, which the man then turns around. Who are you, brat? Why are you walking to this place anyway? The man asked Naruto, who just looked at him. The man just looks at Naruto, which he didn't want someone like him around his place, but Naruto was now walking closer to him. I should be the one asking you that. The man just looks at him, but Naruto can tell his eyes are spit like a dog. That can only be one thing, he must be Tsum old mate. If this was her old mate, then he gonna love killing him and ripping his head off. How can he come back to this place after all the years he left for? He has no right to even walk into this village, let alone to this place. I'm the clan head of this clan, and how dare you talk to me like that? Naruto just laughs at him, which causes the man to be pissed off. Then Naruto gets a pissed off look on his face, which the man wonders why this brat is looking at him like that. But when the door opens and Tsum sees who it is, she was also pissed off. Then she looks at Naruto and sees that he is also pissed. What are you doing here, Lucian? You are no longer my mate or the clan head. You shouldn't even be allowed back into this village for what you done. That when Naruto moves in front of the man, which he notices the mark on Naruto's neck. This causes Lucian to grow mad because she had moved on and with someone that was younger than her. He had never thought of her as someone to date someone that much younger. But what really pisses him off the most is that she had the guts to even think about moving on. How come someone move on when they had been with him, and how in the world is this kid better than him? It's see you have moved on, but I'm here to see my kids. That's something I'm still allowed to do. Even the clan's laws say I can still visit my kids, and no matter what their mother has to say about it. She caused inside her mind because he was allowed to do that. That when the three of them walked in and headed to the living room. She had called for her kids, and when they got to the living room, Hannah was pissed at what she sees in front of him. Hannah knows what happened, and she has always hated her too. She never wanted to see that asshole again in her life, no matter what. Why are you here? You left for no reason, and now you think you can come back. He looks at his daughter, which he just looks at her. Is she out of her mind? How could she yell at her too like that? She was his daughter, and she not right to act that way to him. Naruto looks at him as well and smiles because he was glad that Hannah disliked him as well. Someone like him shouldn't be liked but hated for what he had done. To leave his family because he was getting bored was something only an asshole would do. This was kind of person that he hated down to his bones because someone like this can't be called a two. You're my two? Why did you left, and don't give me a bullshit reason? That was it. Lucian couldn't handle this anymore. He was there too, and this how they acted to him, but was this how Tsum raised them? Did she raise them to talk back to their Tu and Ka? Or was it just to him that she told them to act? You have no right to talk to me your Tu like that. I though this clan had raised you better than that. I guess Tsum didn't raise you up the right way then. Naruto looks at him with a deadly glare, which no one has the right to yell at them like that. Not some asshole of a Tu that leaves them because he was bored. You have no right to talk to them like you. You were the one that left your family because how you put it. You were bored and this was boring. You are nothing but an asshole that has no right to tell others how to talk to you. The man looks at him, which he couldn't believe that this was Tsum's new mate. Someone his age has no real power and can't talk to him like he was above him. He was starting to want to hurt this so-called brat if he didn't keep his mouth shut. Kiba was shocked that his first two left because he was bored. How come someone do that to their own family? How come he be his two? This was pissing Kiba off to no end. To have someone that was an asshole like him as his first two. Hell, even Naruto could be a better two than this man in front of him. Listen to me, even if Tsum mark you as her new mate, she is still my bitch. That did it. Naruto just looks at him as he disappeared, then kicks him into the wall. As his back hits the wall, he looks at Naruto. He was mixed with shock and angry because he didn't realize that this brat had power in him, and pissed that he had the guts to do that to him. Right now Naruto was past being pissed off. This man thinks he can come in here and act like he wants to. This person remembers him so much of the asshole Sasuke. How he wants to hurt this man in front of him for calling Tsum his bitch like that. That when he feels two arms around him, which he looks back and sees Tsum smiling at him. Now you leave this house right now. Your kids don't even want to see you, so get the hell out of my house. He just looks at Tsum, then makes a fist, but he knows this isn't a way to get back at her. He had a good idea to do that, which he was going to love to see the hurt on both of their faces. I'll be going for now. He then starts walking out of the house, which Naruto was glad that he was gone. Tsum and her kids were also glad as well. Hana couldn't believe that her two had the guts to come back after doing that to them. Kiba hated him and wishes he never comes back. Naruto moves behind Tsum as he wraps his arms around her. She leans back into his chest, which she smiles, which this was when both Kiba and Hana start walking out of the room and fast. Naruto just smiles at her as he slowly kisses her lips. How he loved this woman that he was with. How are you feeling, Tsumheim? She looks up at him as she just stares into his slit eyes, which she realizes that he looks better with slit eyes than normal blue eyes. But he does wonder how come his wings aren't out. I'm doing better now that you're holding me, but what happened to your wings? Naruto just gives her a little laugh, then kisses her neck right on the mate mark. I can put them back into my body when I'm not fighting. How about I take you out for lunch? She smiles to him as she leans into his neck, then closes her eyes. I would love that if we did, but how about we go as a family then? That why we can talk about making a wedding for everyone to come and see. Because if I remember right, you promised to make it the best one I could even have. Naruto just smiles to her because he knows that he promised her that and he was going to keep it. After all, he never goes back on one of his promise of a lifetime now. Yes, I do promise that, and it sounds like a good idea to do. Naruto does realize that this is a good idea because he gets to know his new family more and start planning the wedding for her. Which he then slaps himself upside the head. I forget that I need to get you a ring still. Tsum just giggles to him, then kisses his neck again. You can get that later because like I said, the mate marking is like a ring for my clan. You're all mine now and you better learn fast. She gives him a wink at the last part, which Naruto just blushes when he realizes what she means by that. I guess I better be good at learning because I want to see you in your new outfits tonight. Naruto smirks as Tsum just looks at him, then walks to where Hana and Kiba. She uses her hand to tell him to follow her. Which he does, but when he catches up to Tsum, he gives her a nice slap on her ass, which she just slaps him upside the head playfully. Ka, what are you doing here now? Kiba said as he was playing with his dog partner. Hana was wondering this as well as she was trying to feed her 3 partners. The 4 of us are going out to launch, so you better behave or you know what will happen. I think that guy wouldn't mind babysitting you guys again. Both Hana and Kiba look at their Ka like she was crazy. Last time he was here to watch over them, it was a living nightmare and they never want to go through that again. Naruto, on the other hand, was glad he never had to have Guy want over them. Hana didn't like this idea because then her Ka will try to get everyone to know each other better. She doesn't dislike Naruto, but it was just too weird for her to think that he's her too. But on the other hand, he was a lot better of a two than her first one. Kiba did not really like the idea of Naruto being his two as well. That was because he was his age, but also he had lost the fight against Naruto. But he was glad that Naruto kicked his first two into the wall. So that was something Kiba was glad that he did that so far as his new two. Sum knows that her kids will take time to get used to Naruto because of his age and that fact he beat her son in a fight. But she does hope everyone will get along with each other because she loves Naruto and she loves her kids. Where are we going to eat out, Ka? Sum was thinking now because she does want to stop Naruto from his eating ramen all the time. He had it 2 times so far today, which in her mind wasn't a good thing for someone to eat that much of it. We're going to eat out the dango place. Naruto just looks at her, which she gives him an evil smirk. Naruto moves his lips to her ear as he whispers into it. You will be making up for no ramen tonight. Sum's face becomes deeper red as she just kisses his neck, then nibs on it as both Hana and Kiba just want to throw up. Let's get going now. Naruto just walks out as Sum starts to walk out in front of him. He looks at the one place his eyes can't keep from looking. Sum just smirks as she shakes her ass a little bit for him. Now both Hana and Kiba realize this launch is going to be a living nightmare for them. When the 4 of them get to the dango place, they see that Kurenai and Anko are still there, but Kurenai has her team now with her. Her team without Kiba, which he was wondering why Hinata and Shino are with her and not him. How come you guys are with Kurenai-sensei? Shino just looks up at him, which he doesn't know why he was here at all. Don't ask me. I still don't know why I'm here. Kiba was shocked that, for the first time, Shino didn't know what was going on. We were on our way to get you, but Anko forced us to stop and eat with her. Anko just looks innocent with a dango in her mouth. Naruto just shakes his head because she was acting like the same old Anko. They order their dangos and sit down as Anko just looks over at Naruto. Sum-chan, what are you doing to do little Narukuin tonight? After what you told me before, little Narukuin is going to have one hell of a night tonight. Sum blushes as Naruto just looks at her because he was right, she did talk to her about this. Sum, on the other hand, was hoping Anko wasn't going to say anything, but now she was found out. I really don't want to hear about thing kind of thing. Both Hana and Kiba yelled out as Naruto just laughs, which causes Anko to giggle as well. Sum was getting deeper shade of red by the second, which Naruto just moves his arm around her waist and holds her close to him. Sum moves her head against his neck, which Kurenai smiles at the 2 of them. How are you going to go about fighting that Gaara person, Naruto? Naruto just smirks as he remembers the other jailer. He knows that he has to do his best to try to save him from himself and all the hate he has inside of him. I'm going to save him from the hate he has to live with. He's a jailer just like me, and I'm not going to let him keep thinking that he's a weapon to be used and thrown away once he has done his job. That when everyone was shocked, but older shinobis know what he means by jailer, and that only means that this fight was going to be jailer against jailer, and they hope that Naruto lives this fight. You're crazy, Naruto, do you know that? What if he doesn't want to be saved from that kind of life? Naruto just shakes his head as he looks at Shino. No one would like that kind of life. It was full of hate and sadness. It was a life that Naruto had to live for so long, but now he's happy and has a new life to follow. No one would like that kind of time to live. Everyone in the village hating you and wishing you was died. That was a life that wasn't for anyone, but people still live it no matter what. But they can be saved, and I will not stop till I can save as many of them as I can. Everyone just stares at him with mixed feelings. Sum couldn't believe that her new mate was someone that would help anyone with a hurtful life. She was truly glad that she had found someone that cared about people and wants to help others. She was a Inuzuka and a prideful shinobi, which she can see that Naruto means what he just said about helping as many as he can. Shino was thinking the same, that he needs to force more on him and not on everyone else in the world. But then again he realizes that if he did that, he wouldn't be the Naruto that everyone knows and has come to like. Anko was thankful that some people like Naruto was in this world and didn't hate others. He wants to help them from their past so they can have better lives and not the ones they are living now. which she just hopes that he helps her with her past, but she knows that she can handle it herself. Hana was thinking that she and Naruto are somewhat alike because she became a medic in order to heal as many animals that she could find. He wants to help as many people that are hurting, which she can't believe that her Ka got someone like this and she couldn't. Kurenai was just smiling because she had seen Naruto talk like this before. No matter how many times she has seen or heard him talk like this, she feels happy to be around him. She doesn't know what makes him become so big of a helper and a hero, but she was glad that some people in this world are like him. Hinata was glad, but she was still hurt because she can't be with him, but she needs a plan so she can be with him. Even if it was forcing him by blackmailing, she was going to do it. No one could sense the evil aura coming from Hinata right now. When the dangos finally come to them, they started to eat as Naruto had his right hand under the table and on Tsum's right thigh. Kurenai, what are you and your team going to now? Kurenai just moves her hand to her arm as she thinks. We're going to try and help Shino train because he has his match coming up soon as well. So I want to make sure he is ready no matter what. Naruto just smiles because he was glad that she was being good to her team. Hana, what are you going to do? Hana just looks at him, which she figures he trying to learn more about his soon-to-be daughter. She still feels that's a little bit weird that he's younger than her and his going to be her too. But it also weird that she going to like him more than she should because he's her new too soon, but she hopes she doesn't start to have a crush on him. I'm going to be working at the vet office like I normally do every day. I only go on missions when they need a tracker for finding people. Naruto nods his head as he looks at her, then back at Tsum. Naruto, when you going to start training for your match? Naruto just looks back at Anko, which he wonders why she loves giving him a new pet name. But he does realize that he has to start training soon, but right now he just wants to spend more time with Tsum. I'm going to start training soon, I just want to spend more time with Tsumheim before I go off and start training. Tsum just smiles, then moves her head deeper into his neck. Naruto just loves feeling her hot breath on his neck because he's starting to love just being this close to her. What have you been up to, Anko-chan? Anko just looks at Tsum, which she was trying to think if this was Tsum's way of getting back at her for telling them about Naruto and Tsum and what they're doing tonight. I've been going. I love my job and hearing people yell out in pain. Naruto just shakes his head because she was still the crazy Anko that he knows. Don't worry, Naruto, I would never do that to you. I just do something else and you yell out in pleasure and not pain. Naruto just keeps shaking his head as he wonders if she will drop the mask that she has on. The Sia Umbu jump down in front of them as he looks at Anko then Tsum. The Hokage has asked that Tsum-sama, Anko and Kurenai to come to the Hokage office now. With that said, he disappears and Tsum kisses Naruto goodbye and leaves. I guess I'll go to then. With that said, Naruto starts to walk away, which everyone was wondering what was going on. Naruto was wondering the same thing, but he didn't like this one bit so far because Hokage had ruined his time out with his mate. Naruto starts to walk around the northeast side of the village, which he notices the three sound genins, which he hears them talking to someone. When he gets closer, he can hear what they are saying to each other. Orochimaru-sama, you can't mean what you just said. You can't just use us as your humans for your jutsu. That's when Naruto sees Orochimaru come out as he just looks at the three with a pissed-off face. I'm the one that gave you a new life and you will do as I said. Soon this village will fall under the armies of sand and sound. That when Naruto has had enough and jumps in front of the three sound genins. You are not a god team. Naruto was now pissed off as he starts using some of Kyuubi chakra not to fight but to send a message to everyone in this area. You will die today. Do you really believe that you could beat me? You're nothing but a genin without any real power. As he said that, Naruto goes into his bloodline and turns into his werewolf form, which Snake Freak just looks at him. But he also sees a chakra tail come out of him as he was wondering how much of Kyuubi power could he use. Snake Freak, you're going to be attacking the village, are you? You'll never get that chance because you'll die here. Naruto starts to make hand signs and creates 10 shadow clones, which 9 of them rush at him as the real one keeps building up more Kyuubi chakra. Do you really think that you can beat me? You're one fool of a genin Kukukuk. The three sound genins are shocked because he was helping them after they tried to kill him. Who in the right mind would do that, which Kim just stares at him, which she doesn't know why she is. I can't beat you alone, you're right on that, but Whoever said I was alone, did you forget once people see my chakra they will come and check it out? Once he said that Kara and Yujito along with the Hokage jumped down. Orochimaru now was pissed scared at what he was seeing. If it isn't my old student, what are you doing here now? The old man wasn't happy at what he was looking at. How come his ex-student come back to this village after all this time and think he can get away with it? Damn you, with that said, the snake moves back into the shadows and disappears. Two things now, I have bad news, and second, I'll look after the sound genins, but only if they tell us what's going on. But first, bad news is that sound and sand are going to attack, I don't know when. That when Naruto and old man looks at the three genins, which they know only way to live is to sell out the person that was going to use them and kill them. They're going to attack at the finales, and they plan on using Gar to lose control of his demon and kill everyone. Naruto makes a fist because he was pissed that someone would use someone like that in a way to win a fight. Didn't anyone have any pride or human left inside of them to use a living being like that? To use a living being like that, these people aren't human at all. They see Naruto becoming more pissed off as Yujito puts her hand on his head because both her and Kara are feeling the same way he is. As for you three, you'll be living with Naruto at the Inuzuka clan house till this attack is over. Then you may have a chance to live a free life again. The man just looks at Naruto, which he just smirks. Did I forget to tell you that Tsume is forcing you to move in with her? Also, you still need to find more wives to bring back your clan, also your bloodline, after he said that the Hokage walks away from everyone. Why does everything happen to me or something? Yujito just giggles at him, which Naruto just looks at her eyes as both of them blush then look away. This way you three come. Naruto starts walking back to Tsume's home, which now is his home. Once they get inside the clan house, Naruto sees Tsume, which she just smirks to him. You're forcing me to stay here now? You really are one bossy woman, Tsumeheim, but that's a good thing in my mind. Tsume just gives him a feral smirk as she sees the three new house members behind him. You three must be the genins I was told about, and don't worry, I don't bite. I only bite my Narukuin. Naruto just shakes his head as he walks next to her, which the green genins just wonder who this person is. I'm gonna take a nap, been a busy day today. Naruto just slaps her ass, causing her to jump and blush because he did that again in front of people. He just smirks as he heads to his and Tsume bed to take a long nap. I'll wake you up for dinner and after dinner fun. Naruto just smirks at his crazy mate as he keeps heading to their bedroom, which the sound genins were lost in all of this. Why someone would at her age be dating someone like Naruto, it made no sense to them. I'll show you to your rooms now. They followed her as she leads then to their new rooms. For hours later, Naruto feels something wet going down his chest. As he opens his eyes, he sees her kissing his chest, then once she sees him up. She moves her lips to his as he gladly kisses her back, which he wraps his arms around her lower back. I guess it's dinner time or fun time. Which one is first, Tsumeheim? She just thinks for a minute because she knows everyone waiting for them to come to dinner, but it was so hard not to have him. We have guests, so we have to go to dinner first. But don't worry, my little kitsune, you'll have be soon. Naruto just smirks as he slowly gets up and sees his clothes in the bedroom. I put all your stuff in the bedroom, so get some new clothes on. Which that said, she goes to the dresser and starts getting new clothes for herself. Naruto can tell that she's a little bit wet and naked, so she must have just come out of the shower. When he gets up from the bed, he watches his mate puts on a red thong and the bra that she got today. She puts on a pair of black pants and a tan shirt, which he just goes behind her and grabs her ass, which she just looks at him. You touch that too much, Narukuin. His only replied was a smirk and a playful slap on her right side of her ass. He then goes and changes his clothes, which he was now in a pair of orange pants and again no shirt, which Tsume loves seeing. Once both of them finally got done, they walk out of the room together as they get to the dinner hall. He sees the Kumo shinobi and their leader in the room, as well as Kiba and Hana. Also, he notices the three sound genins, which he was shocked to see people from three villages sitting together without killing. I didn't think I would see you guys so soon. Samui just looks at him as her blue eyes were locked on him, whom she still has no idea why. She still can't believe that her Raikes had told them of his plan, and she was still shocked that he was thinking of something like that and hopes Naruto says yes. I also come here to tell you that after Chunin tests that I have a plan to make the allies with our villages stronger. I'll tell you what it is once the tests are over and you win. Naruto just smirks as pulls Tsum chair out for her, then she just kissed his lips and bites his neck. She then sits down as Naruto goes to his chair and sits down. Yujito was wondering if he likes being bite. If he did, then she wouldn't mind biting him all over. She feels draw to him because of Kyubi is inside of him and wonders things about him. She knows that if it anything it's just a crush and it will go away soon. I see, I guess I have to win then, don't I? The Raikage just smirks as he looks at the young shinobi. He has never seen anyone act like the young man in front of him. It was nice to see that someone could be strong but show his joking and nice side to everyone. Thank you again, Naruto, for letting us keep our lives and not be killed. Naruto eyes go to the sound genins because he still remembers their names, but they don't need to say thank you to him. You don't need to thank me, and because of the things you told us we can stop sand and sound from attacking us. You have saved many people by doing what you did. Everyone was shocked at what Naruto said because he didn't care if these sound genins were once the enemy, and how could he have such a kind and forgiving heart? How could you forgive us so easy? This isn't something you could forgive. We were part of the team that was going to kill the village and your teammate Sasuke. Kim was the first one to talk back to Naruto, which he just shakes his head to her. If people keep on hating each other, then there will never be peace in this world. To have peace in our world, we must learn to forgive others and move on. Hate is the cause of all wars and death. We need to break the circle of hate and fear. Everyone was just staring at him because this was something new to hear from a shinobi. Everyone knows inside that it was true about what Naruto was saying, but it wasn't an easy thing to do. That was really moving Naruto. Naruto just nods his head to Kara, which he starts to rap as everyone just looks at him, which his older brother the Raikage just slaps him upside the head. Sorry about my brother, he has a problem with raping all the time. Tsum just laughs as Naruto just shakes his head. Sometimes he wonders if he meets all the crazy and weird people because he's the only one that can understand them or something. You don't need to say sorry, Raikage-sama, but tell me, Kara, how did you get yourself into raping? The man with black sunglasses just makes a big smile as he thinks about how he found the love of raping. It was back when I was put on my first genin team. My sensei was always raping, which I thought it was weird at first, but then come to love it. So from then on I started to rap all the time, which my students never picked it up, and I don't know why. Samui just rolls his eyes as Naruto just laughs, which Tsum just moves her head on his neck. Sometimes it was nice to have days like this even if you're a shinobi. Naruto, you can just call me E by the way. But we need to talk about the sand and sound attack that happening soon. My shinobis that I have here with me will help in the fight with me against sand and sound. I'll also be sitting next to the Hokage, so you don't need to worry about the old man. Naruto doesn't know why, but he feels better now that he knows the old man is going to be safe. He doesn't hate him, but he doesn't like him, but he still remembers times when he was younger and he was only one that helped him. He knows old man didn't help him out of pity, but because he truly cared about him as if he was his own son. Sometimes he wonders what would have happened if they had known the truth about Danzu and what happened if he still had his family. Something like that has always been on his mind and dreams lately. He also wonders if he would still be with Tsum then. If he had lost her, then that was something that he would regret for the rest of his life. Tsum showed his love and passion that someone else has in his life. She showed him how to love someone else not just with your heart but with your body as well. He moves his hand over hers as he just leans his head against hers. Everyone that was watching this feel the love coming off them as they keep watching how they act towards each other. Hannah couldn't help but smile because she was glad that her mother was happy Eve if it was with someone younger than her. Kiba still didn't like that Naruto was that close to his mother, but he couldn't do anything about it, so he had to accept it. Once they finish eating, Tsum shows the Kumo shinobis out as Naruto walks to their bedroom, which she just follows after him. Once both of them get inside the bedroom, Naruto looks deep into her eyes as he closes the door behind her. I guess I have my Inuheim now. Yes, you do, but tell me, do you still remember all the things I showed you last night? Naruto just smirks as he kisses her neck and moves his hands up her shirt. When he looks at Tsum's eyes, he can tell that she doesn't want him to be gently with her. So he moves his hands to the front of her shirt and rips it off her. Once he does that, Tsum just smirks at him, then moves her hands over his chest. Naruto starts to lick her right nipple, which he was glad she put on the new bra she got at the place. My Inuheim, your nipples are getting so hard and so fast. Sum starts to moan as he keeps up his assault on her nipple as he rubs her breasts through her bra. He then moves his hands to the back of her bra and unhooks it as it falls to the floor on top of the pieces of her shirt. "You really do learn fast," she moaned out as he keeps up his assault on her hard nipples, but he moves down as he licks around her right breast, then to her chest. When he gets to her belly, he licks around her belly button, causing shivers up Tsum's body as she lets out a pleasure's moan. She can't believe how he was working on her body when she feels a jolt of pleasure once she feels his hand go under her pants and rub against her pussy through her thong. Naruto starts to undo her pants as he has his right hand rub and pinch her nipples. He rolls the nipple around in between his two fingers, which he earns a moan of pleasure out of his mate. Tsum moves Naruto up as she pushes him on the bed as he looks at him with seductive eyes. "Did you really think you could make me your bitch that easy?" Her voice was huskily as she moves his pants down, then his boxers, which Naruto just watches her as she takes his member into her hand. Tsum moves the tip of his member to her lips as she starts to lick around the head, then down the side of his member as she can hear her mate let out a moan. She then starts to stroke his member as she moves her mouth to his balls and lightly licks it, then takes one into her mouth. Naruto moans as he looks down at his mate sucking his balls and jacking him off. She starts to move back to his tip as she takes his member all the way into her mouth as she stares up at him as she can feel that it's making him more ecstasy by looking at her eyes as she sucks him off. As she sucks on him faster, she comes up with the idea to make her mate feel more pleasure. She takes her mouth off his member, which Naruto lets out a sign but moans once Tsum moves her breasts on each side of his member. As he feels her breasts rubbing against his member, he lets out a longer moan. "Do you like feeling my breasts against your dick? At this rate, you'll be the one that's the submissive one." Which Naruto just smirks as he hears that and moves her on her back against the floor as he moves down to her wet, dripping thong. He just rips it off as he licks around her pussy lips, causing Tsum to let out a moan of pleasure. This time it was longer. "I think I'm the one that going make you my bitch." He then licks her clit as he moves one hand to her breasts and the other hand moves to her pussy lips and starts to slide a finger into her dripping wet womanhood. "Stop teasing me," Tsum cried out as she couldn't take all the teasing that he was doing to her. Naruto starts to suck on her pussy now as he slides his tongue inside of her. He really does like the taste of her pussy. He uses his right hand to grab and slap her breasts, which cause her to feel more jolts of pleasures going through her body. Naruto keeps licking as he moves his left hand to her ass and gives it a hard slap, which that's what finally causes her to have her first orgasm. Naruto just licks all of her cum that's coming out of her pussy as he just moves to her lips and kisses her. "Chem, I taste good, don't I?" Naruto just kisses her neck as he moves his lips to her ear and whispers, "Are you really to become my bitch?" Which she just nods her head as he moves his member to her pussy lips. He starts to tease her by rubbing it against her pussy but not putting it inside of her, which causes her to look at him. "Naruto, stop teasing me and put it inside of me. I need you inside of me now." Naruto could hear the plea in her voice as he knows that she really wants him now. But he comes up with a better idea as he moves her on top her hands and knees in doggy as he moves behind her. "How much do you want it, my little Inuheim?" Tsum looks over at him with pleasing eyes. "I need you badly. Please fuck me and give me more pups." Naruto starts to move inside of you as he enters her. She feels more jolts of pleases as she moves back at him. He moves harder into her as he can feel her hips moving against him, which both of them let out moans of pleasure. Naruto moves his hands to her breasts as they play and pinch her nipples hard, causing her to let out louder moans, which makes Naruto smirk at her. She couldn't believe that he was doing this much better since last night. Last time she was the one leading him, but now he was making her his bitch finally. Now she knows that she picked the right mates as she feels her whole body fill with pleasure as he was dominations her. Naruto can hear him balls slapping against her legs as he keeps going inside harder. She keeps meeting his thrusts with her hips as she feels herself having her second orgasm, which Naruto can feel her cum going on his member, which causes him to moan out as he thrusts harder and deeper into her. Naruto moves so her back is on the bed as he enters her again, which she was more than happily to have him inside her again. She was glad that he did have this inhuman stamina of his from the QB. He moves her legs up in a V, which her legs were now against his shoulders as he can move deeper into her. He was starting to hit places that Tsum didn't even know about as she keeps moaning out his name. "Tsum, I'm about to come inside of you." She smiles as she looks at him, then wraps her legs around his back, forcing him to go harder into him. He keeps up his pace as he starts to rub her breast hard, causing her to get ready to come again. "I can't hold it anymore, Tsumheim." Naruto yells as he thrusts again, as he can feel her walls tightening on his member, as he can feel that she about to come as well. "I'm going to come too, and you better come inside of me. I want your pups." He hears Tsum say that, which he hopes that she has his kids too, as he comes inside her, which he can feel her coming as well. He takes his member out of her as she sits up with all of the strength she has left and starts to clean his member off. "I really do taste good." Once she gets done cleaning him off, she moves him down and climbs on top of him. After few more rounds, they both lay with their arms wrapped around each other as they start to go into a deep sleep. But little did they know that now both Hana and Kiba have nightmares because they didn't use the jutsu to keep the sounds from leaving the room, and with their great hearing. Now they have been scarred for life after hearing their ka having sex. When he wakes up, he then sees his mate and just looks at Tsum's naked, luscious body that she has. He starts to move his hand over her face as her moves the hair in her face to behind her ear. She starts to move as she feels his hand on her face. When she opens her eyes, she stares into his blue slit eyes, which she just smiles to him, then moves her head to neck as she nibs on it. Naruto just smiles as he feels her nib on his neck, which he then moves his hand to her ass and gives it a nice slap. "You really love that way too much," Tsum said as he just kisses her lips as his replied back to that. "What can I say, you have the best ass in the world." Tsum just gives him a feral smirk as she gets up, which he watches her get off the bed as he can't take his eyes off her naked body. Tsum looks back at Naruto, which she comes up with a great idea for the both of them. "How about you come in the shower with me?" Naruto just smirks as he gets out of the bed and follows her to the shower, which once they get inside the bathroom, Naruto just keeps his hands on her ass, which she just slaps him playful on the head. After some shower fun, Naruto and Tsum go back into bedroom and put on clothes, and they hope that they can keep them on this time. Naruto is in red pants and black shirt, which Tsum was now in white pants and white shirt, which Naruto just looks at her. "You're my wild Inuheim." Naruto starts to walk out the room as he says that to her, which she just follows him with a smirk on her face. Naruto slowly wakes up as he looks around, which he finds himself without clothes on again, but once he does find his clothes, they don't look like how they used to look like, because now his clothes are ripped apart. But in a way he was glad that he didn't have any of the claw marks on him, and it was just his clothes that did. He smirks as he thinks about what happened, because even after the shower they couldn't keep their hands off each other. He looks over to see Tsum sleeping peaceful, which he can clearly see that she was smiling in her sleep. Naruto was glad that even in her sleep that she's happy, but he does start to get out of their bed. He walks to where his clothes were placed as he grabs and puts on a new pair of boxers as he takes some clothes with him. He starts to head to the bathroom to take a quick shower, but once he opens the bathroom, he sees a fully naked Kin, but once Kin realizes he was in the room, she just starts yelling at him as he quickly walks out of the bathroom. But he had to say to himself in his mind that she was great looking, even if it was for a second he had seen all of her. She was good in both areas, which he wonders what she will look like when she a full-grown woman. But he still doesn't understand why she used this bathroom. It was long way from her room. He just walks back to the bedroom, but he sees that Tsum was now up and looking at him with sleepy eyes. She must have heard the yelling, and that the reason why she was up right now from her peaceful sleeping. "What is with all the yelling, Narukuin? What did you do this time to make someone yell at you?" Naruto couldn't help but smile at his mate because she looks so cute when she's just waking up. "I didn't know anyone was in the bathroom, and when I walked in I found Kin naked. But I really do have to tell you that you look so cute when you're just waking up." Tsum just starts to laugh as she comes close to falling off the bed. Naruto couldn't help it as he moves to keep Tsum from falling off the bed, but he lets out a long laugh. He walks back away as he looks at the form of his sleepy love, but he comes up with an idea. Naruto walks over to her as he kisses her lips, which she just kisses back. "No fun now because of you. I'm way too sore from the first part, then the second made me even more sore, but I really don't know how I did the last part." Naruto just smirks at her as he sits down on the bed and pulls his naked mate on top of his lap. He just loves the feel of her naked body against his as he runs his hands all over her body. Can you really blame me for having tons of stamina because you didn't want to stop if I remember right? Who really is to blame, the one with the stamina or the one that didn't want to stop? Tsum just moves into his chest as she closes her eyes, which Naruto just shakes his head because Naruto was starting to wonder if she was going back to sleep. Was she really just going sleep on him like this, or was she just closing her eyes? He finds out when he hears her fast asleep, but Naruto just lays her back down on the bed and pulls the covers over her as she doesn't get cold. She was truly someone who he loved to be around, which he knows that he's going to get yelled out again soon. He really doesn't know why people love to yell at him for some reason or another. Naruto goes to one of the other bathrooms and takes a quick shower, then dries off as he puts his clothes on. Once he gets out, he starts to head towards the dinner hall, which he sees that everyone's sitting down eating different things. Kiba and Hana start to give him evil glares, which he was wondering why they are acting like that towards him, but he was going to ask him why. What's with the evil staring you two? I didn't do anything wrong, I think. Maybe one or two things wrong, but nothing to get this mad at me for. Hana just wanted to hurt him if he really didn't know why they're doing that. Because how in the world couldn't he tell why they are this mad at him, but he doesn't know that just makes her want to kill him. We have really good hearing because of our clan, and you didn't do anything to stop the sounds from coming out of Ka's bedroom last night and early this morning. We both can agree on this, and that is we don't want to hear that kind of things that our Ka does. She yelled at him as he just rubs the back of his head. He never realizes that both him and Tsum starting being that aloud because they didn't really pay much mind about the sounds last night. We are now scarred for life thanks to you and our Ka. Why did you have to do that to us? Why, man, why? Naruto just grins as he keeps rubbing his head as the three sound genins just look at him and then at the two kids of Tsum. They still can't believe that someone Tsum age was dating someone the age of Naruto. You do know if it was really that bad. There are other rooms in the other Inuzuka clan houses. That when both Hana and Kiba slapped themselves on the head for forgetting about the other houses in the clan grounds. Kiba was now looking over at Hana for forgetting to tell him that or to remember it herself. Or if you didn't want to leave your room, you could have put the jutsu up to stop the sounds from coming into your room. That when they just dropped their heads to the table for forgiving that as well. Naruto couldn't help but laugh at what he was seeing because they were yelling at me about forgetting, but they did it for both things. Kin is looking at him as she has a blush on her face when she does because of what just happened in the bathroom. How is everyone staying here so far? The sound genins just look at him, whom they couldn't believe that the village let them go like that and that he saved them from being used as bodies for the Jutsu. Zaku was the first one to speak up. We are doing good thanks to you, but I want to know is why you doing all this for us? We were your enemy and tired to kill your team, so why are you helping us like this? Both Kin and Dosu nod their head to him as well, which he just shakes his head. Sometimes he wonders why most he keep on saying this over and over to these genins because it was really getting old now. You were following your leader orders, which everyone has to follow their village leader no matter what. You also were about to be used just so he could use one of his jutsus later in the finales, but also you gave us all the plans about sound and sand. Now we know that they are going to attack and we can get ready for it. Thanks to you for giving us the plans, you have saved many lives for that. The three of them slowly feel like they can trust him because he had saved them and gave them a place to live at. Where is Ka? She's not down here with you. Naruto moves his face in order to look at Hana, which he just smirks. Because their Ka was sleeping because of how tired she's right now, but he was going to have fun teasing them about this. Payback really was a bitch in so many ways, but Naruto loves that. Well, your Ka is sleeping because she's tried and sore from having too much fun. Both of them just look at him shocked because he had outlasted someone that was older than him and knows more things than him. Naruto just laughs as he looks at them, which he just doesn't get tired of seeing people shocked because of his high stamina. One thing he loves about being a demon jailer, and that was fast healing and high stamina. Naruto was about to tease them more, but he hears a knock on the door. He slowly goes to the door as he opens it. He sees Kurai standing there, which he was wondering how come she was here at this time of the day. I bet you're wondering why I'm here because it's not every day a Kumo shinobi knocks on your door? Naruto nods. Your Kenjutsu teacher couldn't do it because she's not stable right now, so the Hokage asked me to train you. He was thankful that she was going to train him, but he just hopes she doesn't mind him and his wondering eyes. He is fully loyal to Tsum, but sometimes his eyes look but he doesn't touch. When do you want to start training? Naruto asked her as she just looks and moves her head, showing her she wants to go now. Kiba, tell your Ka I went out to train. He then starts walking out the door as he closes it. How long have you been a shinobi for, Karui-chan? Naruto was hoping to learn more about his new sensei. He wanted to know because he wanted to see what kind of woman she was, because she does look great. She is the first one beside Kyubi to have red hair, as he wonders if that her real color or if she dried it out. Karui could tell that he was looking her over a few times, but part of him her glad that someone was doing that. But Karui wasn't used to people doing that because most people are scared to say the wrong thing to her. She sometimes yells at them or hurts them when they make her mad or say something about women. I've been a shinobi since I was 10, so 16 years now. Naruto nods his head, which for someone her age she was looking great. She didn't have big chest, but she did have a good ass, which he wonders if Tsum got him into loving women's ass or something. How long are we going to train today for? Naruto makes his hand signs as a shadow clone comes and walks to him, which he order it to go get his katana. Kurai looks at him, which she has to teach him to never leave his katana behind. First lesson, never leave your katana behind when you're walking around no matter what. As for how long, only few hours today. Naruto nods his head, which he wishes he would have remembered to bring his katana, so she wouldn't have got mad at me. Back with Tsum as she starts to wake up again, but when she opens her eyes she doesn't see Naruto. Tsum lets out a long yawn as she slowly gets up out of her bed as the light from the outside coming through her window hits her body, causing her skin to look like it was shining. She slowly moves over to her dress as she takes out a black thong and a black bra. She starts putting them on as she pulls out a normal pair of pants. She pulls them on as she looks through her dresser to find a shirt. She finally finds one that she likes as she puts it on. She was now waiting a blue shirt which showed off some of her chest. Once she was done with changing her, then moves out of her room and to the living room where she sees her kids talking to the sound genins. Where did my little Narukuin run off to this time? Tsum asked them as Hana was the first to look at her Ka. He went to train with one of the Kumo shinobis with his katana. Tsum nods her head as she goes into the kitchen to get something to eat. Hana walks in after her Ka does as she looks at her. Why in the world did you pick to fall for someone a lot younger than you, Ka? Tsum just looks at her with a smirk because she was waiting for her daughter to ask her that. I did it because he's a great person and he doesn't think about sex all the time like most of people my age, but also the fact that he's a fast learner helps. Hana was now looking at her Ka like she is nuts. I really never even needed to know that about Naruto, Ka. I really wish you would keep some kind of jutsu up so we didn't have to hear that all night and morning. Tsum just gives another feral smirk to her daughter because why would she do that? That only uses more time up by doing something outside of bed. I thought I was the Ka around here, you sound like me, but then again I never need to tell you about putting up a jutsu because you are still my good girl. Hana just blushes because her mother still calls her that because she never had sex yet. You really need to stop calling me that, Ka. It's not something I want people to know about me, okay? Hana just walks out the kitchen as Tsum starts eating some leftovers from last night dinner. Tsum sees Kin walk in as she smirks because this was going to be fun making with the little genin that I heard Naruto-kun walked in on you in the bathroom. Sounds like you gave him a nice show. Kin just blushes as she looks at the older woman, but Tsum just keeps smirking to her. It wasn't like that, he just walked in and scared me. Kin blushing even harder as Tsum looks at her. Maybe he'll try to look again. Kin blushes 3 times harder. I'm only joking, you don't need worry about that. Kin lets out long breath of air as she hears that she was just joking with her, but she doesn't like the fact that Tsum is teasing her this much. She needs find a way not to let Tsum tease her again this bad again, but that never going to happen. Now back with Naruto and Karui as they are sparring together on the training grounds. Karui was now sweating as she couldn't believe Naruto has this much stamina to keep going like this. Her shirt starts to get damp because of all the sweating that she's doing, but because of that it's getting tighter on her. Naruto looks at her as he can see her chest better because of it as he can't stop looking. She notices him staring at her chest, but she didn't mind that he's doing this. But she was getting this chance to tease him about staring at her chest like that. That was one thing she wasn't going to let pass her by because she wants to see him blush. So are you enjoying staring at my chest like that, Naruto-kun? Naruto starts to blush as he looks away. I do wonder now, does Tsum have a good chest and is it better than my? Naruto blushes even harder as he thinks of both hers and Tsum chests. Can we just get back to training now, Karui? She nods her head to him as he smiles because he was glad he didn't have to talk about these kinds of things with her. Few hours later of training, both of them are now sitting down as he looks at her. He notices her shirt is now even more damp as he can see her chest even better than before. She looks at him as she smirks, then moves her hands to the bottom of her shirt. She starts to lift it over her head as Naruto was shocked that she was doing something like this in front of him. Once she was done, he notices that she didn't have a bra under her shirt as he can see her small breasts. They may be small when he thinks about Tsum breasts, but Karui's fit her so perfectly, but he did think they were cute because of how small they are. They're not flat, but he had to guess she was around a small B. What are you doing, Karui? Karui just looks at him. She couldn't believe he was acting like this because she was topless in front of her. She took her shirt off because she was hot, but he's starting to think other things but that what Karui is thinking he's doing. I'm hot, so I took my shirt off. Is that against the laws of this village to be topless? She asked him as he shakes his head no. He couldn't keep his eyes off her, but they hear footsteps move closer to them as Karui quickly puts her shirt back on. When person comes into view, Karui yells out, "Omni, what in hell you doing here, and you better have a good reason?" Omni just looks at her as he was wondering what these two were doing outside all alone. "I was asked to check in on you, but looks like you two just got done having some fun." Omni just laughs as he looks at Karui, who is getting pissed off by the second. "Naruto, I'll see you later, I have to kill this fool." Naruto watches Karui starting to run after Omni, who is now running for his life back to his sensei with a sexy redhead following him ready to kill him. Naruto starts walking back to his new home as he thinks about all the people he has met in the last week. Sometimes he wonders if he has good luck or bad luck to meet so many women all at one time. But as he was walking home, he sees a weapon shop with a beautiful katana in the window. He walks closer to the place as he notices the katana is for sale. He starts coming up with an idea as he starts to wonder if he can handle using two katanas at one time. When he walks in, he sees Tenten was the one behind the table, which she notices Naruto walking inside the shop. "Hello, Naruto. How come you are inside my family shop?" She nicely asked him as she wonders if he's here to buy something. "I was wondering how much is the katana in the window?" Tenten looks at the katana, but she was glad someone wanted to buy it. It has been there for a long time now, but no one wants to buy it. "Are you thinking about buying it, Naruto?" Tenten sees him nod his head as he goes to the katana. She brings it over to the table as she goes to the papers her dad told her to read. It had everything cost on it as she looks up to see what the cost of the katana is. The katana was in a black sheath with what looks like a dragon running down the sides. Once Tenten told him the cost, he quickly pays for it as he then walks out with it on his back. Naruto starts wondering what his love is doing right now, but he knows he's going to find out once he walks into the house. When Naruto gets closer to the house, he sees Hana running after Kiba with look that promised death if she catches him. Naruto walks inside the house, which he does see Tsum laying down on the couch. His prankster side starts to come out as he walks over to the kitchen as he gets a piece of ice. Once he has it, then he goes to the couch and quickly puts it down her pants, causing Tsum jump as it hit her skin. When Tsum turns to see who did that, he sees Naruto laughing with his hands holding his sides. "You think that funny, Narukoi? Now if I were you, I'd get this ice out of my thong now, because it got inside my thong thanks to how you put it down my pants." Naruto just smirks as he walks over to her. "I'll do as you wish, my lovely Inuheim." He moves his hand down her pants and under her thong, but he realizes she was lying about ice being there. Hana and Kiba walk in to see Naruto doing this as they both turn red. "What in hell are you two doing?" Hana yells at the top of her lungs as both of them look at them. Naruto and Tsum just smirk to the both of them as they just think their Ka is crazy. "We are having some fun bonding time. Do you mind if we do have some? After all, we are dating each other." Hana didn't like how Naruto had a comeback to this because she wasn't like already walking in on this kind of things. Naruto removes his hand from her pants as she looks at him because she didn't want him to remove his hand just yet. "Hana, now you ruined your Ka fun." Hana just shakes her head because she really wishes her Ka would act normal for once in her life. "Why can't you just act normal for once, Ka?" Sum just looks at her daughter because if she acts normal then she wouldn't be herself anymore and become a new person. But she doesn't want to change herself, but that was because she just loves how she teases people. Now if I changed how I act then I wouldn't be me, would I now, Hana-chan? Sum smiles as she looks at her daughter, waiting for her to come up with a comeback. Sometimes she wonders why Hana doesn't act like her, but like she always say that her daughter is around Kurenai way too much. She likes Kurenai acts more like a lady, then Sum thinks she should act least like a lady and more wild. That is true, but sometimes being crazy is a bad thing and you really understand that and know it for a fact. Sum just shrugs her shoulders as she looks at Hana. You may have a point but also may be right, but I don't think that being crazy is a bad thing, and I know Naruto doesn't think that way too. Naruto just smirks as he moves his hand on her ass, which she just smirks back to him, causing both Hana and Kiba to feel sick again as they have to watch this. Sum-chan, I have to go for a little bit, but I'll be back later. He kisses her as she moves to look at him. He gives her one smile before walking out the door, but Sum knows that Naruto was up to something. She was going to find out soon, but right now she had to talk to her kids. Naruto was now outside the village and in front of his clan house. It was still in ruins after the attack on it, but as he walks in he notices the bodies of his clan member were still in the halls and rooms. I can still tell who they are by small. Kyubi told him as he brings the first body out, which looked like it was one of the women that had been raped. He starts to dig a grave for her, and once he gets done he makes a tombstone out of rock. He writes the name that Kyubi gives him and moves it at the head of the grave. Naruto knows this was going to just be the first grave that he digs today for his clan members. He can't believe that they didn't even give them graves. He wonders how can this ass of a village be so damn heartless like this. Kyubi just watches as she grows sad because not only does she have to see this, but Naruto has to do all the work. He has to dig the graves and wash away all the blood that was on the walls. It was years-old blood, but you can still smell the death in the air of the clan house. Naruto goes back into the clan house as he starts to look around, but when he gets to a place that looks like his family bedroom, he sees a body with a sword through it as it was on the middle of the wall. Naruto takes the sword out of him as the body slowly falls to the ground. This was your two, Naruto, Kyubi said in a sad tone of voice because he has to see his father like this. Naruto couldn't believe that this was his two, and he was staring at the dead body as he yells out. He does the same thing he did with the first body and digs a grave, then makes a tombstone for him. He starts to make clones so he can give his clan members graves faster, but he just leans against the wall as he holds his chest in pain. Why did this have to happen to his clan, and why did his clan have to go through this? He hated it and wishes that he could go back in time to fix everything before it happened. He just wants to yell out as he's holding his chest because this pain of seeing this is just too much for him to take. He goes back into the clan house, but he goes to the bathroom and sees if it's still working. When he gets inside he looks for a rag or something so he can clean the walls. He finds one and goes to the sink. When he turns it on he was shocked that he was still working. He wets the rag, but he goes back to the main dinner room and sees the walls were stained with blood, so he tries to clean them. He spends few hours digging the graves for all his clan members and cleaning up all the blood. With every grave he digs, with every blood spot, he cleans his heart because more filled with pain and sadness. He knows he has to be strong for his clan and can't give up on as he gets closer to fixing his clan house. When he goes outside and sees all the graves, tears start to come down his face as he just sits there and cries. He knows that they are died, and he didn't think there would be someone alive here, but he didn't see this coming. He didn't think that it could be this bad, and he just makes a fist because of all the anger and sadness he's feeling right now. Naruto Koi, this is where you have been. He looks up to her, causing her heart to sink because she doesn't want Naruto to be this sad. It was her job now to keep him from being sad like this, so she sits down next to him. Sum pulls his head to her chest and softly rubs his head, causing him to look at her. Yes, this is where I'll have been, digging graves for them and washing away all the blood that was still on the walls. She couldn't believe it herself that the village didn't give them a grave already. She looks down at him and wishes that he would have let her help him in this, so he won't be alone when he needed someone the most. You should have let me help you, Naruto Koi. Something like this is when you need people to help you through it. Naruto kisses her lips, causing her to kiss him back. Both this kiss was filled with passion between two lovers. I'm sorry that I didn't let you help me. It's just that this isn't something I thought I was walking into was going to be like. He looks at the graves, but he moves Tsum on his lap and holds her close as his tears keep coming out of his tears. I keep asking myself, why did something like this happen? Why did it have to be my clan? Tsum didn't know how to talk to him right now because she never once in her life had to do or see something like this. I don't know what to say to that, Narakoi, but I want you to know that there are people here that will always be here when you need our help. She kisses his cheek, trying to make him feel, if anything, a little bit better. I do need to say something, Tsumheim. Thank you for always being here when I need you. She looks at him with a smile on her face because she was always going to be here for him just like he's there for her. I'll always be here for you, and why don't we go home and come back tomorrow to fix it up more? He nods his head to her, letting her get up from his lap. She slowly helps Naruto up next, but once he was up, he looks at her with eyes that hurt how much he was hurting right now, but Tsum just rubs his cheeks. You really did pick a good mate, didn't you? They turn to where the voice was coming from, and when they see who it was, it's the same wolf that Naruto thinks of as a Ka. Ka, what are you doing here? She just looks at him, then moves to the graves, but she knows it has been hard on Naruto. This is the clan house, remember? We visit it from time to time, waiting for you to fix it up for us. The wolf moves over to the two of them as her eyes were on the two of them. You really are a good mate for Naruto-kun. I just hope he finds more good mates like you. Tsum's cheeks start to grow a little pink. Thank you for thinking that. Tsum sees the wolf leaving the area, but Naruto moves his arm around Tsum's waist, causing her to jump a little bit. She leans into his chest, which Naruto just moves his head on top of Tsum's head. Let's get going home because it's almost dinner time. The two of them walked without saying a word in order to honor the ones that finally get the graves that they should have had for a long time now. When the two of them get back to the house, Tsum walks in first, but Naruto was right behind her. When he gets inside, he notices that her ex was now inside with few of member of the council, but they are all non-shinobi members. What in hell are you doing back inside this house, Lucian? Tsum was now pissed that this asshole had the guts to come back here again. She notices the other council members here and has an idea to why they are here. I'm here to tell you that I'm getting back my clan head rights and you will become my bitch again. Naruto moves in front of Tsum, who was hoping that he wasn't going to something that may get him hurt. No way in hell you can do that, and I'll see you assholes in the council meeting room because you have no rights in shinobi and shinobi clans. Naruto wasn't going to let this fools hurt Tsum or ruin what they have with each other. Very well, we will be seeing you in 2 hours, and don't be late, Lucian said as he walks out with the rest of them. Tsum walks over to the couch, but she looks at Naruto before sitting down. Naruto didn't like how that asshole can hurt Tsum like much, and he was going to make him pay for hurting his mate. Naruto walks over to her, but he moves his hand onto her shoulder. You're worried that he will get his rights back and force you to be with him again? She nods her head, causing Naruto to pull her into a hug. You don't need to worry because there's no way in hell I'm letting him do that. I'll always keep you safe, my little Inuheim. Thank you, Naruto-koi. Really thank you so much for helping me right now. She holds him like her life was on the line right now. Naruto starts to rub her back, trying to calm her down the best he can. You never need to thank you, and you know that. Now what would you like to do before the meeting? He asked her as she just looks up at him before she starts to think about what they can do before the meeting. We could just go to our room and lay down. I'm only going to be yours, Naruto-koi, and no one else is going to have me. He smiles to her and helps her up from the couch. They both head to their room with smiles on the face because no matter what, they are not going to lose each other. 2 hours later, both of them are at the council meeting, and Naruto was kind of wishing he could have slept with Tsum longer, but it was funny to see Hana being scared to walk in her car room. They didn't have sleep this time, but everyone though that did it, so it was kind of funny and helped their moods when they seen her act scared to walk in. Naruto looks around to see everyone from shinobi to non-shinobi council member here and wonders if the old man had something to do with this, so he would have helped in this problem. He was somewhat thankful to the old man if it's true that he's helping the two of them in this, but he just hopes he can stay with Tsum. I here call this meeting about Lucian trying gain his clan rights back after leaving his clan and family. The old man said to everyone, but he looks over at Naruto and hopes he doesn't do anything too bad in this meeting. He knows that he had failed Naruto when he could have told him the truth but sealed his past away with his bloodline. He's truly hoping one day Naruto can forgive this village and him. Everyone else in the room had their own ideas on what should happen to this man trying to gain his clan rights back. Hokage-sama, why should this man be given the rights to be clan leader again when he left the clan because he was bored? Also, isn't a shinobi that leaves a village make him a missing shinobi? The Hokage looks at Naruto and smiles because it is true that if you leave the village without the Hokage letting you, then you do become a missing shinobi. That is true that a shinobi that leave this village without me allowing it does turn the said shinobi into a missing one. Lucian was now scared, and it was showing because he forget that he became a missing shinobi once he left. Naruto smirks because he can see how much Lucian is becoming scared by the second, and he knows there's no way he can win this fight. He wasn't gonna let this asshole get away with something like that. There is no pride or honor in leaving your family like this asshole in front of him did. I was forced to leave because she told me if I stay or told anyone about this she would kill me. Naruto was now getting pissed that this asshole would lie in order to keep him from losing this. How someone could lie about something like that, but all this was causing Naruto to make a fist. That is the most bullshit you could come up with? Is that really all you can think of in order to win? To lie like that so you can win, or should I say what you told her when you come into her house? You didn't sound like someone that was the innocent one because you sounded like someone that was hurting an innocent woman. Naruto was about to kill him, but Tsume was holding his hand to keep him from doing something dumb. I also want to have this Gaki put in jail for attacking me without a reason. Naruto was walking over to him but was stopped by Tsume as her arms wrap around him. No reason. You had the guts to come into Tsumheim house and say she's your bitch. You should be the one behind bars missing shinobi. Everyone in the room could see how much Naruto was getting pissed that someone was trying to do this dirty trick on his love, but everyone was just the shinobis in the room. The ones still on the asshole side are non-shinobi members who always go against Naruto no matter what. He has all the rights to put charges against you. Pink flat-chest banshees yelled out at him, which he just looks at her. He never liked her because she wanted him die the minute he was born because of the Kyuubi, but he also hated her because she made Sakura hit him but also won't get into any clan hairpants. How much is he paying your side because you are non-shinobi and not a part of the shinobi side of this council, I wonder? Because you again have no say in shinobi affairs. He was getting tired of telling these fools to stay out of shinobi affairs, but do they listen to him? Hell no. How could you dare try to say that we're being paid to help him? Who do you think you are? The same banshee howls at Naruto again, causing him to rub his ears. He can't believe how loud that she can howl. It wasn't human to be that loud. Man, how in the world can you yell so fucking loud? I didn't even know a human can be that loud as you. For people like me and Tsume with great hearing, can you please shut up? Naruto yelled back as he still keeps rubbing his ears, but this caused the banshee to become more pissed off. How dare you? You are nothing but a... She was cut off by a huge wave of Ki, not from Naruto, who everyone though it was at first, but when they looked to see who it was, they couldn't believe that this much was coming from Tsume. You were gonna call my Naruto-koi a demon? You are the Ka to a daughter who wants to fuck someone who doesn't even want her. You train your own daughter to fuck clan hairs so you can get more power. The woman just looks at her shocked that she had the guts to talk to her about her own daughter like that. How dare you talk to me about my own family? Who in the hell do you think you are? You are one to talk, you're the Ka of that horny bitch. That was something she shouldn't have said as a kunai comes right next to her neck and through the wall. The person that did that wasn't Tsume but Naruto, who right now was getting way too pissed off at this so-called council meeting. Tsume leans into Naruto as she holds him close to her, but he wraps his arms around her in a lovely way. Tsume gives the shocked and feared banshee a look before she begins to talk again. Never call my daughter that again, and as for a fact my daughter never once had sex, so don't talk lies about my family or you will be the one that pays for them. Tsume isn't someone to get this pissed off, but when someone insults or hurts her family, that's when you see the other side of Tsume. Everyone stop this at once. I will remember you again, this is a shinobi affair, you are only here to watch. The Hokage stated, trying to stop things before it gets worse and someone dies, mainly the banshee would die. Everyone shinobi member here who thinks that Tsume should lose her place as clan leader to him, raise your hand. No one raised their hand to that because no one thinks that an asshole that leaves his clan and village has the right to gain it back. Naruto notices something as he smells the air and looks at the asshole because he smells of snakes. Hokage-sama, I think we should have this asshole sent to Ibiki because I just notice he smells of snake just like your own student does. What are you talking about, Gaki? Lucian asked him as the Hokage was wondering if Naruto was telling the truth or making this up, because if he was telling the truth then they have a spy that the snake been using. How do we know you're not just saying that, Naruto? If it is truth, then it means he's working for Orochimaru, causing us to have informant we can take from him. Naruto was looking at him, but he was hoping that he can tell them and hope they will believe him. If you don't believe me, then get Kakashi to use his summon to prove what I say. The Hokage nods his head and calls an Umbu over to get Kakashi. When Kakashi finally gets in and does what the Hokage orders him to, he summons one of his dogs and he tells Kakashi that he does smell of snakes, and Kakashi was looking at the Hokage. He says that he does smell like snakes. How do you want to do this, Hokage? Wait, please, will you wait a second? What if I told you things so you don't kill me? They all look at him, and Hokage wasn't happy that a spy was in front of him, but if he truly does have something they don't know, then it could help. If whatever you have is something we already know, then you will be killed. Lucian was now happy because he did know something that only few people know about, but he just hopes the Hokage lives up on his end of the deal. The upcoming attack isn't just sound and sand but also IWA. Only few people know about that. The reason I know is because I was one helping IWA make plans of attack. There wasn't a sound in the meeting room after hearing that, because 3 villages against 1 isn't something they could handle. I guess we have to ask Kumo for help on this matter, don't you think so, Hokage-sama? Naruto asked him, causing the old man to let out a long breath because he didn't know what to do right now because this was turning bad for them. I guess we have to ask them for aid. Kakashi, could you find their leader for us and ask him to come here? Kakashi nods his head and leaves to find the Kumo leader and hopes that he agrees to help Konoha in their time of need. Before Kumo leader gets here, I really would like to ask why my clan bodies weren't given a proper rest. You left the bodies there, letting them riot. Naruto yells as his eyes turn pain to anyone that tells him a bullshit lie to his face again. Danzu, it's about time you pay for your crimes, not only against this village but the death of the Ukami. We all know about the lies that you made up. The Hokage was now looking at the old man, but this said old man didn't look scared. What proud do you have beside this boy? Words. Hokage smirks because no one said anyone lived or told him anything. No one said that anyone lived that day, but it looks like you sold yourself out. Now Danzu was worried because he had failed for that old trip, but he had to come up with an idea, but only idea was to fight and let out his hidden ace. He looks over at Naruto, who he has to take down right now or trick him into helping him. What are you going to do to me for getting rid of a danger and help this village more than you know? Naruto looks at him with anger in his eyes and moves away from Tsum, causing her to worry that's he going to do something like before. You only cause more deaths by doing that. You are one that made Kyuubi attack you village, so don't say you are so kind of hero. Naruto starts yelling at the time of his lungs, causing everyone who didn't find out yesterday to become shocked. What are you going to kill me? You don't have the power to beat me. He takes the bandage off his eyes, showing everyone he has a Sharingan. Everyone in the room didn't understand how he has it. You're my... Naruto smirks, and before he can do anything with his eye, Naruto goes into his fallen one bloodline form as he walks over to Danzu. Why isn't it working? You should be working for me now. In this form I can't see. I'm blind in this form, but he comes with good things as well. It's time for you to be killed, traitor, and I'm going to show no mercy for you. He couldn't believe that he can't use his mind controlling on him, but he calls his 2-root Umbu and goes out the back door. You guys handle the root, I'm going after him. He runs, but Umbu get in his way but are quickly pushed away by Choji Dad, allowing Naruto to follow after Danzu. He didn't know why everyone was trying helping him so much, but he lets out a smile because there truly are good people in this village. Naruto was on his trail as he keeps running after him, but with his speed, he knows he will get to him before anyone else will. This was the day he will get his revenge for his clan that was killed because of his lies. These lies that came out of that man's mouth that got his clan raped and killed. The roots of all his hate and anger towards this village was because of this man whom he was going to love killing. Naruto didn't have this much hate for anyone else, but he knows he can't let his anger blind him in this fight. He must have a clear open when he fights Danzu. A wolf is the sign of wisdom, and to have wisdom you must not allow anger and hate to cloud your mind. Naruto knows he has to make his attack plans with a clear mind and not a mind filled with anger and revenge. Every step Naruto takes he thinks about his clan members and how they died, but also his Ka and Tu and how he wants to honor them. He wishes he could have seen them and sees that they were proud of him, but he knows that he can't. Only thing he can do right now for them is to make their killed pay with his life. He finally gets to Danzu as he was standing on the Hokage faces, but Naruto slowly walks over to him, which he just looks at Naruto. He knows that Naruto can't beat him, so he wasn't too worried about fighting him. This is where you die, Danzu. There is no more talking your way out of things. You will die by my hands and no one else. Naruto gets in his battle form and Danzu just keeps looking at the four-armed werewolf with a smirk on his face. Naruto was now with Danzo, but he was pissed, but at the same time he had the chance to get revenge for his clan. He can finally kill the man that caused all this pain for him and his clan, but he knows that he can't just rush at him. This fool hasn't been alive for all these years just so he would die fast. Naruto knows he has to find out what kind of power he has. He has to make the first move before it gives this fool any time to come up with a plan against him. Naruto rushes at Danzo as he reaches for his katana, but only one because he didn't know how to use both at one time yet. Danzo breathes in as he opens his mouth as wind comes to him. Naruto hears the cause in the wind with his ears. He jumps away, but once the wind hit the tree he can hear it being cut in half. Naruto now knows he's dealing with someone who can use wind to fight, but Naruto wasn't a fool. Since Naruto was blind in this form, but some would think of this as a bad side of a bloodline, they would be wrong because Naruto hearing was now so sharp even ever that he can hear someone far away. He can easily fight using only his other senses without his eyes in order to kill this asshole. Don't do anything too crazy. I don't want to lose you as well. You're my godson and no way I'm going to let you die, do you hear me? Naruto nods his head showing her that he understands, but also if he ever needs a pair of eyes he knows Kyuubi would tell him what he needs to know. Naruto does hand signs as four shadow clones of him start to walk forwards Danzo. He then hears the ground move out from under the clones, killing them. He doesn't know what Danzo does, but Kyuubi does, as she was about to tell him when Danzo attack was coming at the same time. Jump now. He's using earth or maybe wood at you just like the first Hokage. How the hell does he have the Mukuten bloodline? Naruto now knows what he is dealing with because he learned about this bloodline in the shinobi school. He was shocked that something he learned from a book could really pay off right now. Naruto jumps to the right, barely dodge a sharp wood attack from Danzo, but now Naruto it's his turn to do the attacking. There was no way in hell he was going to let this asshole get away with something like this. Naruto starts to do one of his clan moves as he yells out, "Hanu Senpu, Flame Whirlwind." He does what looks to be same as Kiba attack as he starts to spin in the air coming towards Danzo, but unlike Kiba, Naruto spins as flames come around him. Danzo makes a shell-like shield out of wood in front of him, hoping that it will stop Naruto from getting to him. He wasn't really trying because Danzo doesn't believe this genin can really give him a real fight. How wrong he was as Naruto breaks through the shell of wood, causing Danzo to jump out of the way of the attack. Naruto was pissed that he missed because he has to fight in order to win this, but at the same time he has to keep dodging the incoming attacks aimed at him. He truly doesn't know if he can beat Danzo on his own because this old man may be old, but he has fight in more battles than he has. Naruto wasn't going to give up not till he dies because right in front of him was the man that was solely the reason his clan was killed. They enough makes his blood boil, but he knows he has to keep a calm mind if he hopes to win against this man. All he knows right now is that Danzo has wind attacks and would, but Naruto wasn't foolish to believe that all this old asshole has. One thing he didn't like was being toyed with, and he was going to end this once and for all. For his clan to finally rest in peace, he has to kill the man in front of him. No matter what it will take, he is willing to pay it. Naruto rushes at Danzo as he draws the sword on his back, which he was glad his turning into werewolf didn't break his slash holding his katana. He only knows how to use one right now, so he wasn't going to try using both katanas untrained like that. He tries to cut Danzo with a low attack aiming for his chest, but he feels the ground moving as he hits wood. Naruto was really getting tired of his attacks always stopped like this from the damn wood, but he knows he has to find a way around this. Naruto smells someone he knows as he turns around, but he hears that person is close by and it was Yujito. Once he feels her land next to him, he was great that he had some help now against this asshole. Naruto-kun looks like you can use some help, but tell me, what have you learned from him so far? Naruto quickly told her as they both dodge more incoming wood attacks mixed with wind ones. The two of them don't know that the real fight is just starting, but Naruto looks to her and nods his head because he was glad she was on his side right now. He didn't know how she fights, but he was hoping she was good at doing her job. Yujito starts doing a hand sign, then yells out, "Nensho Hisaki, burning flames." Wave of flame shoots out from her mouth as Naruto starts to feel hot, but Kyuubi told him it was a flame jutsu she used. The jutsu missed Danzo, but it did come close to hitting him, which he wasn't to his liking, as he does a wind attack by sucking in more air then releasing it at Yujito. Yujito didn't have time to react because she just got done using a jutsu like that, but she feels Naruto pushes her to the ground to avoid the attack. "Thank you, Naruto-kun." He nods his head and rushes at Danzo, giving Yujito some time to come up with some kind of battle plan. She was always great at making plans, but she knows it's going to be hard working with Naruto. It wasn't because she believes that he sucks at fighting, but the fact was they were from two different villages. She looks at Naruto, but she just tells herself that she wasn't going to let him down when he needed her the most. Right this second he needed her help and she was going to give it to him. She tries to come up with a plan, but she knows her fire jutsus will help out a lot and maybe she should go all out if she has to. Naruto does another one of his Hanu Senpu, but the same thing happened like the first time, causing Naruto really be pissed. Yujito moves so that she tries to set up a trap for Danzo, hoping Naruto will keep buying her time. Naruto didn't know what she was doing, but Kyuubi told him to buy her time. He just does another Hanu Senpu, then another one, but he wonders if he should use his other move on him. He hasn't tired it in real battle yet, but he knows if he's going to win he has to go all out against this asshole. He turns his two added arms back into wings, then goes up in the air. He truly doesn't know if this will work, but he knows he has to try. He moves his wings, which look he's going to use them to attack with. Seiji Kuku Ujeki, Justice Airstrike. His wings sent mass waves of wind, right to Danzo, who didn't know that Naruto was a wind user. Yujito was finally ready, and she had to say the name really did fit Naruto's attack. She never thought his wings could be that strong. She starts to begin to think of Naruto as some kind of angel with that attack. Once she was done, she moved back, then made a hand sign as the kunais she put on the ground with tags start to blow up, catching Danzo, but once smoke cleared he was still alive without being hurt. That when Yujito sees something that creeps her out so much. On his left arm were tons of Uchiha eyes with their Sharingan all looking at her. After a minute, she notices one of 10 eyes begins to bleed like the eye itself was destroyed. She didn't know if this asshole used them to stop the attack from hitting him or what, because he should have been died from that. She didn't like how this was going, but she sees Danzo behind, but once she turns around it was too late. She feels her body go numb as Danzo puts a seal on her. Naruto sees this and he sees Yujito, but Kyuubi told him she can't move at all and Danzo is about to attack her. Danzo sent a sharp wood attack at her as Naruto jumps in the way of it as it goes into his gut, but grabs the wood and breaks it. "Why, tell me, Naruto? Why did you do this? Why did you jump in the way to save me?" Naruto just looks back at her with a smirk on his face. "Because I can't have someone get hurt in my fight. I'll not let you die, so that a promise of a lifetime. I'll keep you safe no matter what, and you can believe me on that." Naruto throws up blood as he tries to come up with a new plan, but he knows he has to think fast. It wasn't just his life on the line anymore, he had to think about Yujito and keep her safe no matter what. He wasn't going to let someone die when it comes to his own fight like this. If anyone was going to die, it was him or Danzo. No one else is allowed to die in this fight. Yujito didn't know what to think because she never had someone act like this for her. She never had someone take a hit that could cause so much pain like one he took in order to save her. She hated now having power to even move as she watches the two of them fight each other. "Use my power and destroy him. Once you have done that, then claim him for us. I really want try riding him all night alone." Yujito blushes as she hears what Nibi was telling her to do, because she wasn't thinking about doing that with him. She swears she wishes she didn't have a perverted Nico inside her head like this. She couldn't say that she was thankful to Naruto and maybe even have a crushing growing, but there's no way she would get naked for him or fuck him. She wasn't that easy to get in bed, and that one reason she never had sex. True, she did pleasure herself with things but never had sex with anyone. Naruto gets hit again hard, but he was still standing, but Yujito still couldn't believe she can't move and pissed her off so much. She hated seeing someone going through pain just to keep her safe like this. She begins to use Nibi chakra as she feels the binding on her body start to lift. She hopes she can transform in time to help Naruto because she would truly feel sorrow if he dies before she can help him. She keeps watching as she builds up the chakra she needs to transform. Naruto doesn't understand why every time he gets a good hit on this damn ass he doesn't get hurt. Was he using some kind of jutsu to stop himself from being hurt? Was the person he fighting really him and not just some image causing him to think that it was the real one? No, it couldn't be because he hears a heart inside that chest of his. He just keeps up his attacking hoping that he'd been doing some kind of pain to him, but he keeps getting hurt more by the wood and air even though he dodging most of it. The ones that hit him are because he goes in front of Yujito to keep it from hitting her. Yujito on the other hand watches as few tears come down her eyes as he keeps getting hit in order to shield her. She slowly has enough chakra build up as her body begins to be covered in blue fire, but once her whole body was covered with it she become to transform into the two Nico demon form. Naruto-kun, I'm going help you now. Naruto was shocked she was free, but he was even more shocked once Kyuubi show him image of what she looked like right now. In his mind she looked like a beautiful cat. Beautiful. Yujito hears as both she and Nibi blush because they didn't think that this form was beautiful. Nibi now really wanted her jailer to just tie him down and ride him till he can't handle anymore. Yujito in Nibi form opens her mouth as she yells out. This was the two-tail monster cat fireball. Which a massive fireball comes out of her mouth to Danzo, which he was kind of shocked that she could transform like that, but he uses another one of his eyes to get away safe from the fire. Yujito notices after a minute later that another one of his eyes are bleeding. Now she knows what he was doing in order to dodge the attacks that may be deadly to his life. She moves to Naruto and whispers into his ear what was going on, but he glad she told him why in hell he couldn't hurt him. How many eyes does he have left? Yujito tells him 5 of his eyes on his arm that weren't bleeding. Naruto nods his head and slowly pets Yujito's head, causing her just look at him, but he smirks, then puts his force back on the task at hand, killing Danzo. Naruto just hopes he can't handle this fight. Right now with all hits and chakra he used, he doesn't know if he can last this fight. He looks over to where he knows Yujito is and knows he has to keep her safe even if she was in a giant cat form now. Naruto turns his wings back into his added arms again as he slowly uses his ears to find Danzo, then give a hand sign to tell her he was about to attack. He knows tons of villages has their own ways to show each other, but some hand signs were same with each village. Naruto rushes at the front, but Yujito moves faster than him as she gets behind Danzo, which causes the asshole to try to come up with a plan now. If he was just fighting against Naruto a genin, he not have to worry, but now he got a jounin in demon form as well. He wasn't going lose to these fools because he notices his 2 of his helps close by as he calls them with a seal. 2 Root Umbu get in front of Yujito as she hisses at them, but Naruto keeps on running to Danzo as the old man smirks to the foolish genin. Naruto created 6 shadow clones, but 3 of them are killed right away by wood attack. Yujito was having no trouble at all fighting against one of the Umbu, but the other one keep using water jutsus against her, causing to be a pain to get close to him. She sees a water dragon jutsu coming to her as she jumps in the air, but she looks over to Naruto to see how he was doing against that bandage freak. Naruto wasn't doing so good at this point as he slowly starts to tap into Kyuubi's chakra as he finally gets a hit on Danzo, but he goes right though to him as Danzo uses his 6th eye to keep himself from being killed. Danzo wasn't happy because he had to not only used 1 but 6 eyes now against these 2. He was really starting to get pissed off at this point. His anger was starting to make him hastily about what he should do or think on the matter at hand. His ego wasn't going to let him be beaten by these 2 demons. Naruto does another fire spin at him, but he was stopped by a water jutsu as he was sent back into a tree as he can hear a rib crack. He slowly stands back up to only get hit back another wood attack as it slams him into a rock, causing his body to hurt even more. Yujito kills the 1 Umbu as she goes over to help Naruto, but she can't believe he's still moving after all this pain. She knows he can heal, but still this was too much for someone to handle at his age. Naruto wasn't going to stop till he either killed this asshole or died fighting like a true warrior. He wasn't going to hide or run, and hell with letting someone do this for him. If he going to die, then he dies with his pride and honor as an Ukami clan member. This pain was laughable because he was put though more than this on a daily thing he got from the villagers. He wasn't going to let few hurt bones and cracked ones to stop him from fighting or let it get in the way of his battle. Naruto spits blood out as he moves closer to Danzo as he taps into more of Kyuubi's power as one tail starts to grow. Yujito was worried about him, but she didn't know why. It just her chest was hurting as she sees him in this much pain and he won't stop fighting. She goes after the last Umbu who just keeps giving her a hard time with his damn water jutsus. The Umbu keeps on unleashing jutsu of water one after the other, but he was slowly running out of both stamina and chakra. Yujito knows all she has to be by some time before he is totally out of chakra, but he just hopes Naruto can't hold out that long. She was shocked that he can still go at it like this long. She also is getting tired because being in this form take a lot to keep it going, so she has to fight fast as she finally gets a hit on the rude Umbu, but it wasn't deep enough to kill him, but her claws did give him a good cut as the Umbu moans in pain. Naruto sent waves of demonic attacks with his hands as it was trying to kill Danzo the fastest as he can. He can still see 2 eyes left, but he knows that he has to end this fast before he truly runs out of what little he has left in him. Yujito finally killed the damn Umbu, but once she turns around she worried that Naruto may not have lived as she rushes to where he was. She sees that he's still fighting, but her heart hurts because the shape that he was in was far from being good. She also notices that Danzo only has 2 eyes left as she rushes him from the back, shooting a giant fireball from out mouth at him as Danzo uses another eye to avoid it, but now he was down to 1 eye left. He had to find a way to deal with these damn people before he ends up dying for real. Naruto notices he was about to attack Yujito as Danzo does hand signs. They notice massive attacks of wood were going at it. She tried to use fire, but she only burned most of them as there was still few coming at her still. Naruto jumps in the way again as he gets hit and feels it rip into his back from 2 spots, but he then just cuts the wood as he stabs Danzo, but Danzo uses his last eye to stay alive. Yujito, when I do this next attack, I need you do your attack as well. Naruto 2 arms because wings once more as he takes to the sky with his chest and leg bleeding badly. Seiji Kuku Ujeki. He summons mass waves again as Yujito understand what he was planning on doing as she uses her fireball attack, lighting the wind attack on fire as it was going right to Danzo. Danzo had no time to dodge it as he was being burned alive with such high heat levels from that attack as his burns even start to melt from the heat that was coming off the attack. He couldn't believe he lost to a Genin and a Kumo bitch as his body becomes nothing more like ash. Naruto turns back into normal self as he falls to the ground, but Yujito catches him, then lies him down on the ground. She didn't know if he was going to make it or not, but he sees the Hokage and Raikage rushing to her side, but once they get there they ask what happened. She told them all that happened as they take Naruto to the hospital, and they were shocked about what they found out. First thing that shocked them was Danzo having 10 eyes in his arm like that, but also having the wood bloodline that only the first Hokage had. They look down at Naruto and see medic shinobi working on him as the Hokage and Raikage couldn't believe someone like this could have done so much. Raikage was forever grateful to him for saving Yujito in the battle all the times that he did. She was like a daughter to her and he was glad she was still alive after that fight against Danzo. He knows now that he's doing the right thing with his plan he has been talking about lately with Hokage and giving hints to Naruto. He looks over to see Yujito staring at Naruto as him and the Hokage leave the room, but Yujito stays even after the medic shinobis leave as well. She didn't know what to think or say because he had saved her not just once but few times in one single battle like that. He used his own body to shield her like that and she didn't know what to do right now. Yujito notices someone opening the door, which she has been here for 2 hours now, but she looks to see who the newcomer was. It was Tsum, who looked sad but walked over to the bed. She didn't want to see her Naruto like this, but she was glad he finally got the justice he wanted for his clan. Hello, Tsum-san. Tsum looks over at Yujito as she gives a sad smile, but she looks at Naruto. The medics told her that he's going to be fine, but still makes her sad that he got hurt. She didn't want him to be hurt like this, but she knows that was the life of a shinobi. I'm sorry, this is my fault. Tsum was told what happened and she knows it wasn't Yujito's fault. Naruto will always be the person that saves others. He was the kind of person that helps others just like an angel from heaven, but Tsum does wish he wouldn't be so reckless at times. I have already been told by the Hokage-sama what happened, and Yujito-chan, this isn't your fault. Naruto did it so you wouldn't have be the one on this bed with people looking at you sleep. Yujito moves her black eyes back to Naruto's body because she's truly thankful to him for saving her. The door opens again as Samui walks in because she wanted to check up on the 2 foolish blondes. She looks at the two people in the room, then at Naruto. When she first found out what happened, she couldn't believe it. She didn't think someone from other village would use himself as a shield like that in order to help Yujito. Samui found it so cool what Naruto did for the person that was like a sister to her. She also thinks he was reckless to do things like that, but just like Reikage feels she's grateful that he did it. Without him doing that, then Yujito would have been killed, and that's something she can't live with. She wouldn't know what she would do if she found out that Yujito had been killed. The three of them sit down around the bed and wait for him to finally wake up, which happens about 5 hours later. Naruto slowly opens his eyes as he sees the three of them, but he tries to get up, but pain was still there as he can barely even move. Don't push yourself, that's not cool at all. He smiles to Samui as he looks to Yujito, who he was glad she wasn't hurt at all from the fight. It's good that you're not hurt, Yujito-chan. Yujito just blushes as Tsum kisses Naruto on the lips, but she looks at him once she was done. You had us all worried about you, don't you dare do that again. All three women nod their heads, causing him to laugh, but he then realizes laughing hurts too much. Naruto was happy that he finally got that asshole. He finally ravaged his clan, and now they can finally rest in peace. He was glad that he got justice for his clan, even if it took so many years to do it. He couldn't have done it without Yujito help, and for that he was thankful. Yujito-chan, thanks to you. If you weren't there to help me, I couldn't have gotten my justice for my clan. Yujito didn't know why he was thanking her. She was the one that had to thank him, not the otherwise around. She didn't do that much help in the fight, but he still was thanking her. It made no sense to her at all. You shouldn't be thanking me. I'm the one that has to thank you for saving my life all these times in the fight. Naruto shakes his head no as he looks at her because she didn't have to thank him at all. He was glad to save her no matter what he had to do. I'm glad I could save you. I would have done it over in a heartbeat. Tsum smirks because he had a way into women's hearts without even realizing it as she looks at Yujito's blushing face. He truly was dense when it came to women, and that was something that Tsum loves about him as she thinks it's cute. You three came to visit me? They nod their head. Thank you for doing that, I'm really thankful then. Samui and Yujito look away with blush on their faces, but Tsum just smirks then looks at him. You have rest now, we will come see you tomorrow. Naruto nods his head weakly as he watches them leave the room. Naruto closes his weak eyes as he lets sleep once again claim him, but before it does he wonders if he will even become stronger than he is right now. Naruto didn't know that Kyubi was listening to everything that was going on, as she just hopes that Naruto will become as strong as he has to be soon. Kyubi knows Naruto can't handle all of her powers because it wasn't normal for a human to. Maybe he can learn from Yujito in order to control the powers better. She just hopes because she doesn't want to kill him because of the powers inside of her. When Naruto wakes up the next day, he sees everyone around him. He didn't know how they all got inside without him noticing. He sees the Reikage walking up to her as he looks at the little kid in front of him. Thank you for saving the person that's like a daughter to me. Naruto shakes his head because he doesn't know why he is being thanked so much. You don't need to thank me. I'm just happy I could have helped her. Just shakes his head because he didn't know that someone like Naruto was still alive in this world. Someone whose heart is filled with kindness. That was something that was rare to see in this world of shinobis because every day could be your last if you showed that kind of kindness to people. I guess I should tell you the plan I told you about before at dinner. I'm going to have Team Samui with Yujito stay in this village to work with Konoha to strong our alliance. I would like you to watch over them when they are inside the village. Naruto looks at Samui, who was hidden, hoping he will agree with this. I'll be happy to. Samui just wanted to yell out because she was happy about this, but she didn't want to sound like a crazy person. There was too many of them in this world as it was. She doesn't know why she happy that he agreed or that she wanted him to. All she knows is that her heart is beating faster thinking about it. Naruto gets up, but he was still weak as hell, but once he make few steps away from the bed, he starts to fall but gets caught by someone he hasn't seen her. She has green eyes that were so just beautiful. Her hair was a light grayish pulled back into a bun with two bangs that fall one on each side of her face. Thank you, but who are you? Mabui just smiles to him because she was sick yesterday and that was reason he didn't see her or the time at dinner. She looks at him, but Naruto checks her out without anyone realize. She looks great and she had a middle-sized chest, which he looks back to her eyes because they were the thing that got him really into her. My name is Mabui and it's nice to meet you, Naruto-kun. She spoke with calmness, but her green eyes just start to force on him. She wonders what kind of person he was, but from all stories she'd been hearing about him, he was a strong and kind soul. It's nice to meet you to Mabui-chan. What going happen at the finales? Hokage looked at him, then at Raikage, who nods his head because he needs to know what gonna happen. It's good for you to know what gonna happen. I have called in some of Kumo forces to come and hide around the village on the day of the attack. Naruto was shocked that Kumo was willing to help that much for this village, but he wonders why he was doing all this. It wasn't normal for a village that wasn't an ally to become an ally this fast, but also aid as well. Can I ask, how come you willing to help us this much? I just smirks because he was right about this kid. Only a fool wouldn't ask why when it comes to something like this. He sits down on a chair that was next to the bed before looking up at him, but smirks bigger. He never seen Mabui hold anyone like that, but he just figures she's thankful to him. Because you have showed me that there are some people in this village that Kumo could find trustworthy. We make ally and you had a good part in making this possible. Naruto smiles because he was glad he could help, but he slowly heads for the door. Where are you going and why are you so weak? Naruto looks back at Tsum because he doesn't want to lie to her anymore. It pains him knowing that he has been hiding this whole time from her, but now he knows he has to tell her. Remember when I said I couldn't die of age? She nods her head to him, but wonder what he means by this. Yeah, you can't because you have QB inside of you. He shakes his head no, but other two jailers were wondering what was up. How could he live forever? The fourth Hokage didn't do the sealing right. He didn't because he sealed her inside of my body but my soul. More I use her power, more I become a demon and lose my human side. Everyone was now shocked, but Yujito was now looking down sad. I'm sorry for making you use it. Naruto just shakes his head. You don't need to be sorry because I'm glad I saved you. If I have become a demon in order to keep the ones that I care about safe, so be it. I don't have any regrets then. Everyone in the room was moved by that because they didn't think that was what he was going to say. In their eyes, he was someone that truly could change the word. Change it not by fighting but by his moving words. Mabui was staring at him as he looks at everyone, but this didn't go unnoticed by Killer Bii or E as they smirk. Mabui never let herself date because she always doing her job and never date anyone. They sometimes worry about her because she pushes herself too hard. Now they both are smirking because she may finally let herself enjoy life, and maybe thanks to this young boy, no young man in front of them. Tsum was just smirking, but she knows she has to go and tell everyone that he's fine and to not worry about him. Tsum kisses his lips, then looks at him. I have to go and tell everyone you'll okay, and I must say you going to be bring back that clan of yours fast at this rate. She winks to Mabui before leaving the room, causing Mabui to blush but look away from Naruto. Now I just need find my clothes and get out of this hospital, grown aren't. Hokage just smiles and unseals clothes for him that Tsum had brought over for him. Naruto takes them and tells them to leave, but he asked Mabui if she could help him. Mabui agreed, but with a blushing beet red face, but Samui and Yujito mad he didn't ask them. Naruto lets Mabui take night grown off him as she sees his naked body, causing her to blush because she never seen a naked man before. She tried to not look down there but failed as she starts having some blood leave her nose, which Naruto smirks at. She slowly helps him get his clothes on one after the other, but by the time she got done her face may never stop being red. Thank you for the help, Mabui-chan. I hate it when I'm this weak because I can't do anything. Mabui just smiles as her skin goes back to being her dark skin color. She can't believe that he thinks he was weak, but she knows that a man thing about always having to be strong. You are strong, Naruto-kun, you just need to realize that you have limits. All strong people can a limit that no matter what they can't pass it without getting hurt. She's trying to get him to realize that he has a limit just like everyone else in this world. He looks at her and starts to nod his head and lets her help him bring him back to his house and wonders if she's okay with all this. When he gets inside the house, he notices everyone staring at him, but he wonders if it's okay to tell them the truth. He doesn't know, but he has to tell them and hope for the best outcome he can get, but he looks at Tsum's eyes and smiles. He was hopeful, glad at least he has her in his life, and he knows she's not going anyway soon.